Evening, it is 5:05 p.m. and I call this public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who is joining us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the time listed under closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk. Mrs. Martinez?
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion shall be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing none, hearing none, I close a public hearing and adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will reconvene at the conclusion of closed session. Good evening. It is 7 p.m. and I call this regular meeting to order. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. I would like to welcome the media and everyone joining us in person and via Zoom. If you would like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each public comment period during the meeting. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and staff, and members of the public, I'd like to remind us all of our vision and our mission. The Madera Unified Vision states that we'll set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. We are committed to creating and sustaining a culture enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's the nature of our work this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 3, roll call. At this time, I ask everyone joining to please silence any electronic devices that are not linked to this meeting. Mrs. Martinez, please call the roll.
Trustee Gomez Leon.
Here.
Trustee Taha.
Here.
Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Cortez.
Here.
Trustee Dybert.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Seibert.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
President Salazar.
Here. Tonight's schedule, thank you, Ms. Martinez. Trustee Cortez, can you please lead us in the flag salute?
Everybody please stand. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Cortez. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be provided by Director Jesse Chavez of the Madera Rescue Mission. I invite Director Chavez to the podium.
Good evening, board. Thank you for the opportunity to open in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of this community. Lord, I pray for the board, their families, for safety. I pray for the audience here and their families. But most importantly, I pray for the children, the kids, the students that we oversee. Lord, that you would provide protection for them and also provide guidance for them, that they would be good students, students that we would be proud of in Madera. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Director Chavez. Item number 4, closed session, reportable action. Superintendent Lyle.
We have none this evening, ma'am.
Thank you, Superintendent. Adoption of the agenda, Mrs. Martinez.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to adoption of the agenda. Board Bylaw 9323.2.
Superintendent Lyle, does staff have items to add or remove from the agenda?
President Salazar, this evening, we do. We'd like to revise both the field trips and the employee conference list under the consent agenda. That's item 12E. Because a staff conference and a few field trips have been added. The revised lists are at the dais with additions marked in red, and they are truly routine.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustees, do you have any items to add or delete from the agenda? No? Okay. Trustees, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented? Please state your name and when you make a motion and second the motion.
Clerk Mendoza, I move to approve or adopt the agenda as presented with the modifications of 12.E.
Trustee Cortez, I will second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Clerk Mendoza and second by Trustee Cortez to adopt the agenda, to adopt the agenda as presented. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the roll for the record.
Trustee Gomez Leon. Trustee Taha.
Yes.
Trustee Ahmad.
Yes.
Trustee Cortez. Trustee Dybert.
Yes.
Trustee Fleek.
Yes.
Trustee Seibert.
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza.
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, 0 absent, and 2 of the votes are preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Item number 6, annual reorganization items. Item number 6A, recognize the 2023 outgoing board member, Superintendent Lyle.
So trustees, I'd like to recognize tonight the leadership of President Salazar for serving on the board this last year in 2023. It hasn't been an easy year. We've had a lot of change. We've been working through a lot of challenges, but President Salazar, as you know, has been really dedicated and responsive to the needs of the board and to the staff to try to bring us all together. So we'd like to this evening honor her as we do every year at the end of our president's term with a plaque that we hope that she will keep and will be part of a keepsake for her family for years to come to celebrate the hard work and the leadership of the community. One of the things that just doesn't really seem to resonate with people outside of school boards is that this really difficult work that's done is not done for anything other than love of the community. I think it's about a $400 monthly stipend for about 400 hours worth of studying, working and attending and interacting with constituents. There's a lot more that goes on than people really realize. And I think that Salazar's energy has been very noticeable to this community. And I think they know they're getting their $400 worth. So I'd like to have President Salazar come down and let's take a quick picture if we could to honor her work. President Salazar, on behalf of the board and the community, this belongs to you and you have earned it. There's no doubt about it. One. Now we organize the board. What wants to go up?
Excuse me.
No, at this time, this is where I take over for just a little while. It feels really important all of a sudden. I don't really like it much. So item number 6B, our annual election of the president of the Board of Trustees. So trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second for nominations and the election of the president of the Board of Trustees. So please state your name when you're making the motion and when you second the motion.
Clerk Mendoza, I nominate C. Salazar for president.
Do we have a second?
Trustee Ahmad. Go ahead. Trustee Ahmad.
So it's been moved by trustee Mendoza. It's been seconded by trustee Ahmed for trustee Salazar to serve as the board president for another term. Can we please have a roll call vote?
Trustee Gomez Leon,
I abstain.
trustee Taha,
Abstain.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
No.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza.
Yes.
Superintendent Lyle, I counted 6 ayes, 1 no, 0 or 2 abstentions
Correct.
and 0 absent.
And 2 of those votes were preferential for
Preferential.
the record. And it's been moved it's been moved and approved that President Salazar will resume her presidency for yet another year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now all my power's gone. Now we move on to the clerk. So President Salazar, if you would, resume. So item number 6C.
Sorry, I didn't turn the page. Annual election of clerk of Board of Trustees. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second for nomination and election of the clerk of the record of trustees. Please state your name when making the motion. When you second the motion, you will vote on the first motion and second, and the motion fails. A new motion and a second will be necessary. So do I have a nomination for a clerk for 2024? I nominate Clerk Mendoza.
Trustee Seibert, I'll second.
Ms. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Abstain.
trustee Taha,
Abstain.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
trustee Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 2 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. It has been moved by, sorry. It's already been approved, sorry. Okay, next. Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Esteemed attorneys, I introduce President Salazar?
Clerk Mendoza.
Oh, Clerk Mendoza, oh, sorry, Clerk Mendoza as the new 2024 board clerk.
Congratulations.
To my fellow trustees and the community and everything, I thank you for the vote of confidence. I appreciate it. I'll do my best. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Mendoza. Item number 60, appoint the superintendent as secretary of the Board of Trustees. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second to appoint Superintendent Lyle as the Secretary of the Board. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to appoint Superintendent Lyle as the Secretary to the Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Ahmad to appoint the superintendent as secretary of the board. Ms. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
president Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 6C, approve the board president and board clerk as authorized signers for board approved documents as required. Trustees, at this time, entertain a motion and a second to authorize the board president and the board clerk to sign board approved documents when required. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to approve the Board President and Board Clerk as authorized signers for board-approved documents as required.
Trustee Fleek, all second.
It has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Fleek to authorize the board president and board clerk to sign board approved documents when required. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
president Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 6F, approve the 2024 District Board Advisory Committee Guidelines. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion, a second to approve the 2024 District Board Advisory Committee Guidelines. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
President Salazar, I have a request and I will not be representing at the Career Technical Education Committee. And I believe trustee Ahmad will be taking my place. So staff probably have to make a note of that.
Are we doing that?
And I'll remain at all the other
Is this for community representatives? What is it?
This is, okay,
sorry, did I?
Sorry.
this is for the proof of the committee, the guidelines.
The guidelines, okay.
The next one.
Went
is
ahead of
the-
myself.
Yeah. So I need a motion to approve the guidelines and then we'll go on to. Then we'll go on to the committees is next. When you choose your committees is next.
Trustee Ahmad, make a motion to approve the 6G appoint trustee to the 2024 District Board Advisory Committee as stated.
It's 6F.
6F.
Mhm. Do I have a second, trustees?
Trustee Fleek, all second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Ahmad and second by trustee Fleek to approve the 2024 District Board Advisory Guidelines, Committee Guidelines. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez.
Yes.
Trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
president Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 6G, appoint trustees to the 2024 District Board Advisory Committees. Trustee, I have an open floor for the discussion of these items. Trustees, if there are no further comment, okay, excuse me, so we'll discuss it. So you have the list of different committees. Excuse me. Or, we we already did the board officers. So 2024 will be myself. Clerk will be Ruben Mendoza, and Todd Lyle will be the secretary. District committees, representatives, representative to Athletics Advisory, 2023, we had the different trustees. Is anybody changing, or are the guys are staying the same? Are the same, or anything
I'm
changes?
gonna read.
Go ahead,
Oh, do
trustee
you want me
Liber-
to start
the-
here? or you want-
We'll start with the first one, the athletic one, advisory on the guideline. You have your list.
Have my
Yeah.
list, yeah.
So, trustee Diber, you had your microphone on. Were you gonna make a comment, or?
Well, I'll wait until you're going over the different.
Yeah, we're going down the alphabetical, down the list, not alphabetical, but how's it is in the category. So do I have anybody else make a, trustee Freak, I'm sorry.
I'll stay on it. They need a woman on the athletics.
Okay, so trustee Freak, okay, let me just repeat. Trustee Ahmad, were you gonna remain in the
I'll
athletic?
stay,
Okay.
yeah.
Mr. Seibert, trustee Seibert, are you gonna stay in? And then we're alternative, we have trustee Cortez, is that okay? Okay, thank you. Now, representing to the Budget and Finance Committee. We have right now trustee Dibert, myself, President Salazar, and we have trustee Seibert. Do you guys want to make, stay in, as this is for the Budget and Finance Committee?
I would like to remain on
Okay,
that
so
committee.
you would like to remain trustee? Okay, and then myself. Okay, now moving on to represent to the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. We have Israel Cortez and we have myself. I would not be able to do it this year because it conflicts with another organization I've been with for 25 years. Is there somebody, another trustee that would step up to be in the Bond Oversight Committee? I don't want to have to appoint somebody.
This here, there's a commitment for 2 years, right? The-
Yeah, so
2-year
then I'll
term
stay there for
started in
another year.
23.
I'll stay for another year and I'll just try to rearrange my schedule because for 2 years I've been there. For 2 years already. But if somebody else can take it, that'd be great.
President Salazar, if you like, I could take it.
Okay, so Clerk Mendoza would do it. Is that it conflicts and I don't like missing it and I feel guilty when I have to miss it. Representative to Career Technical Education Committee, we have trustee Dibert. Are you okay staying there?
No, I'm not, but the same thing. I have something comes up and I
So you-
missed the last one
okay,
too,
that's
so
fine.
I prefer to be removed.
I'm sorry, trustee Freak,
I'll stay.
trustee Seibert? Okay, we have alternative Israel Cortez, so Israel, you will replace trustee Dibert, or are you okay? Are you,
Yes, that's fine.
thank you. And we need one alternative,
I can be-
alternate, I'm sorry,
I can be alternative then.
trustee Ahmad,
Yeah.
okay. Moving on to representative to English Language Learner Advisory Committee, DLAC. Right now, we have trustee Cortez, trustee Dibert, myself, President Salazar, and we have I'm sorry, trustee Cortez, would you like to remain in the DLAC committee?
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Dibert, would you like to remain?
Yes,
Myself, I would like to remain. Trustee Ahmad, would you like to be alternate? Are you okay still with that? Thank you. We're moving on to representative to the Facilities Committee. We currently have trustee Clerk Mendoza. Would you like to stay in the Facilities Committee?
Yes.
Myself, President Salazar, yes, and trustee Seibert?
Yes.
Thank you. Representative to the Parent Advisory.
President Salazar, can I be alternative on this?
It doesn't call for
It doesn't
one.
call for it?
It doesn't call for, but we can, because this is a 2-year one.
Is it?
But we could always,
Okay,
I'll note it down.
sounds good.
Thank you for letting me know. Representative to the Parent Advisory Committee. We have trustee Fleek.
I'll stay on it.
Okay, we have Clerk Mendoza.
Yes.
We have myself, President Salazar. Well, another trustee would like to take the PAC. I think I'm already in DLAC. I think we need to sometimes rotate our committees and for PAC with somebody else want to, another trustee want to be, right now we have trustee Dybert for as alternate.
If, yes, I would like to be a member of that committee.
Okay,
if
so
possible.
I'm gonna replace you with myself. I mean, you replacing me,
Thank you.
and we need an alternate for PAC. Do we have an alternate? I'll be alternate. Thank you. Representative to Safety Advisory Committee. Trustee Ahmad? Okay. Trustee Fleek? And for alternate, Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Representative to the Site Selection Committee? Trustee Ahmad?
Yes, I will stay there.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
Myself, President Salazar. Alternate is Trustee Seibert. Good, okay, thank you. Representative to the Visual and Performing Arts Advisory Committee. We have Trustee Dybert in the advisory committee.
I would like to remain, but I'm not sure when those meetings take place, because I don't remember attending the meetings this year. So do you know, Superintendent Lyle, when, what months they take place at?
Hello. The meetings do happen at least, I believe, twice a year. And I think we were also utilizing this particular committee to staff the Madera County Arts Authority, Joint Powers Authority meeting.
But I
as
haven't
well. Is that
attended
not
any of the
correct?
meetings. I'm not sure, maybe an invitation went out to me or maybe.
That's different. It's the second from the last,
Is that the
Yeah,
second from the last one?
yeah,
the next page.
it's a county thing.
Yes, I would like to remain. Hopefully this year I know a little bit ahead of time so I can kind of block my calendar.
Of
Okay,
course.
Yes.
Trustee Fleek?
Yes, and I've attended both meetings.
Okay. Would somebody else like to be an alternate? Nobody? Okay, so I'll remain there. Representative to Wellness Committee. Trustee Ahmad?
I would like to stay, but I did not attend the meeting last year either, so I did not receive any information. Maybe I missed it also, yeah. But I would like.
Okay, Trustee Dybert?
Yes, and I did attend one meeting. It was
Okay.
a calendar.
Trustee Fleek?
I'll stay an alternate.
Okay, thank you. Out of District Committee Board Representatives, California Association of Suburban School Districts. Currently, we have myself, President Salazar, Nadeem Ahmad, excuse me, Trustee Ahmad. This is for California Association of Suburban School Districts. Would you like to still attend? Or, okay. Does somebody else want to replace Trustee Ahmad?
I can do it.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Fleek. And the alternative is Trustee Clerk Mendoza. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Tri-Agency Committee. Myself, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, alternate, why that word can come out on me. Alternates is Trustee Fleek. Trustee Fleek, are you okay still being alternate?
Yeah, that's fine.
Madera County Arts Council. We have Trustee Fleek.
Yes, I'll stay because I was voted VP.
Okay. Alternate is Trustee Cortez. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
And then we have Trustee Ahmad. You okay with for the Arts Authority? Okay. Central Valley Education Coalition, CVEC. We have Trustee Fleek.
Yes.
We have Trustee Seibert.
Yes.
And then myself, I'm the alternate. Will somebody else want to be alternate? Okay, I'll stay as alternate. Thank you.
President Salazar?
Oh.
You know, I don't see that out of district committee for Madera County School Board Association on there.
For McSauce?
Right.
And I, yes, and I happen to be the board president there. So it's missing. I don't know if there was.
That's a separate association that we're a part of, and I don't know that we have, we can look back at our records and we luckily have someone who's quite, who has a quite long history of understanding all of this. I don't believe trustee Dybert, and we have a couple of people who worked on this in the room at the moment. I don't think we've had that on this list. That's a separate entity altogether, is it not?
It was, but we don't have it listed, but we can make it for the record that he would like to be
can.
a member.
Let
Up
us,
to the president, yep.
let us finish because I messed up because I did the out of district and the regular committees. So let's approve the regular committees and the out of district, and then we can add for the record that one committee you're talking about.
Okay,
So trustees, if there are no further comments, I entertain a motion and a second to approve appointment of trustees as representatives to the 2024 District Board Advisory Committees. State your name when making the motion and when second the motion. This is
Trustee
to approve.
Cortez, I move to approve item six, G as stated.
Thank you. Do I have a second, trustees?
Trustee Fleek, all second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Cortez and second by trustee Fleek to approve the appointment of trustees to 2024 District Board Advisory Committees. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
yes,
president Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 6H, nomination of the electric representatives to the 2024 elected and appointed out of the district committees. So trustees, I open the floor for discussion, which we already did the out of district committees board representatives. Trustees, if there are no further comments, I entertain a motion and a second to approve nominations and election of representative to the 2024 elected and appointed out of district committees. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
President Salazar, trustee Dybert here. I move to approve item number 6H as stated with the note that Clerk Mendoza would like to be a member of the Madera County School Board Association.
And as a point of clarification before anyone else speaks, it is in the board packet. So that particular committee is listed in the board packet. It's just not on your list at the dais.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do I have a second by, do I have a second motion, trustees?
See Ahmad second.
It has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Ahmad to approve the nominations of elections of representatives to the 2024 elected and appointed out of district committees with noted the appointment for Clerk Mendoza for Madera County, what is it, education?
School Board
School
Association.
Association, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad, trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes, is it too late for a question? Oh, no, I was going to ask about the committee that Ruben's president of. Are we going to have more than one person and an alternate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's stop the poll for this one here. On the out of district committee board representatives, we are going to add Madera County School Board Association, right? So we have so far as a representative of Madera Unified, Clerk Mendoza. And do we have another trustee?
I'll volunteer
Trustee Fleek?
because I have no life.
And do we have an alternate? Anybody? No?
I think
Okay,
it's one and an alternate, so I think.
okay,
we're covered.
that's fine. So this will be, Madera County School Board will be added to the out-of-district committees boards. So now it has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Ahmad to approve the nominations and elections of the representative to 2024 elected appointed out-of-district committees as corrected, adding Madera County School Board Association. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez, trustee Dybert, trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes,
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 6I, approve the 2024 trustee area and school sites. Trustees, I open the floor for discussion of this item. This had your different school sites assigned to you. If there's any questions or discussion that we need to discuss, trustees, or we find with the school sites that are in your area?
I am okay, President Salazar.
Thank you. Trustees, if there are no further comments, I now entertain a motion and a second to approve the 2024 trustee areas and school sites. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Cortez, I move to approve item 6I as stated.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Trustee Seibert, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Cortez and second by trustee Seibert to approve the 2024 trustee area and school sites. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes,
President Salazar, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 6J, approve the 2024 regular and closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees. Trustees, I open the floor for discussion of this item. So you have the 2024 regular school board meeting schedule. Are we okay with this? Okay. Trustees, at this time, I entertain a motion and a second to approve 2024 regular closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve 6J as stated.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Ahmad and second by trustee Fleek to approve the 2024 regular closed session meetings of the Board of Trustees. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes,
President Salazar counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 7, Student Board Representative Report. Fortunately, Student Representative Melanie Miranda was not able to attend tonight's meeting. Alternate Elia Zahn will present the report in Mrs. Miranda's place. I invite Hector Hernandez to present the Alternative Education Student Representative Report.
Good evening, Board President, Superintendent Lau, and board members. Hello, my name is Hector Hernandez, and I will be presenting information on behalf of the alternative education schools. Next slide, please. First up is Mount Vista High School, where knowing their students by name, need, and interest is the focus for the year. The month of November was another month to celebrate four more fifth-year class of 2023 graduates from Mount Vista: Misael Herrera, Angel Perez Ramos, Rufino Alvarez, and Jasmine Jacobo. This gives Mountain Vista so far a total of 11 fifth-year graduates so far. It was a great day for these students, and we hope to see them in June, where they will be eligible to participate in the graduation ceremony. Next slide, please. On October 27th, Mount Vista participated in the volleyball tournament held at Yosemite High School in Merced. The tournament included similar schools and provided an opportunity for students to experience friendly athletic competition. Mount Vista went 2-2, and senior Antonio Diaz was awarded the most inspirational player of the tournament. Next slide, please. On November 3rd, Mount Vista participated in its annual Fall College Tour, in which they first visited Fresno City College and took part in a campus tour and visited their career and technical education programs. The second stop of the day was Fresno State, where the students were able to dine in the residence dining hall and then took in a campus tour. Overall, it was a great experience for students to learn about the different programs available to them after high school. Next slide, please. On Thursday, November 30th, students at Mount Vista who were passing all of their courses and had no major behavior referrals for Term 4 were treated to join a holiday cookie decorating event. Students were able to spend time with students and teachers and share some holiday spirit. Oh, and yes, they were able to eat their cookies. Next slide, please. Mount Vista High students and staff created a wide variety of Holiday Spirit Week activities to begin spreading the holiday spirit that took place from December 4th to December 8th. This is all part of continuing to build a positive school climate on campus. Next slide, please. This Friday, December 15th, students and staff will participate in the end of the fall semester social event by bowling the night away. Students and staff will join in a friendly competition to see who are the top bowlers at Mount Vista High. Next slide, please. Next is Ripperton High School. Here we grow again. We are fortunate enough to add a new middle school teacher recently, Ms. Beltran, to the Ripperton family. Here we have some of our middle schoolers working on new updated classroom agreements and Tier 1 classroom incentive charts. Most of our students' population from Ripperton were recently able to attend a field trip to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. The kids had an amazing experience, and for quite a few of them was the first time experience in Monterey. Next slide, please. Our staff and students did an amazing job of putting together our family feast menu and preparing the food that we would eat prior to Thanksgiving break. Staff and students were very happy with the family style experience and we're already talking about our next one. Next slide, please. Up next is Furman High School. Furman High celebrated El Dia de los Muertos in November with a door decorating contest and student writing activities. For December, students have been sharing their family traditions through writing activities within their advisory classes in order to further embrace our cultural awareness. Next slide, please. Furman High took 37 students and chaperones to visit Sacramento on December 1st on Amtrak. Students learned about governments and the purpose of the state capitol, as well as how to take the Amtrak train. For most of these students, this was their first time taking the train. Next slide, please. Mary, a standout candidate, embodies responsibility, gratitude, and kindness. Actively engaged in the leadership class, she dedicates her time to enhance the school community. Mary is not only responsible in her own duties, but also vigilant about her classmates' well-being. Her genuine concern about and watchfulness demonstrate her commitment to the collective welfare. Moreover, Mary consistently expresses gratitude, recognizing the significance of both major accomplishments and small gestures, making her an excellent choice for the character counts. Next slide, please. Furman High has implemented a canned food drive since November until December 20th. All donations will be given to the Holy Family Table so that they distribute the food to families in need within the Madera community. If you are interested in providing canned food donations, please drop them off at Furman High. Next slide, please. Furman High held its second annual Winter Formal this Friday, December 8th at Mad Tech. The theme was Mystical Masquerade. There was great food and music. Students and staff had an enjoyable time. Next slide, please. All of the alternative education school sites believe in helping all students finish strong and graduate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. I invite Elijah Zong to present the Torres High School Student Representative Report.
Test. Good evening, Madera Unified School District, Board President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board. I'm Elijah Shong, here with the Torah report. This year, our MUSD ASB leadership programs came together to host our very first ever district day of service. 150 student leaders from all 3 high schools joined forces to give back to our community. We volunteered at Madera Rescue Mission and also partnered with our City Parks Department to carry out park cleanups at Millview Soccer Complex, Rotary Park, and Town and Country Park. It was a fun day of practicing servant leadership and connecting with student leaders from across the district. Next slide, please. November was all about showing gratitude to those that make a difference in our school and in our community. ASB hosted our annual Week of Gratitude, where we showed love to different groups on campus and in our immediate community. We set up coffee and refreshments for our custodial staff, made agua frescas for the nurses and doctors at the Camarena Health Center attached to our campus, and even provided our counseling team with a pancake breakfast. Next slide, please. Just before Thanksgiving break, we hosted our annual Fall Spirit Week. Students and staff participated in dress-up days, lunchtime activities, and fall-themed competitions to celebrate all of our school-wide successes throughout the fall. The week culminated in our Fall Sports Rally, where we honored each of our fall sports teams and hosted our first annual Dancing with the Toro staff competition, where each class recruited staff members to represent them in a choreographed dance battle. The seniors were victorious this year. Next slide, please. This year, our Black Student Union partnered with Nishimoto Elementary to participate in the Ruby Bridges Walk to School program. Students from Torres walked over to Nishimoto and read stories to their kindergarten classes, sharing the impact of Ruby Bridges and the importance of being accepting and inclusive of everyone that you meet. Next slide, please. We love the holidays at THS. When we returned from break, ASB surprised each teacher by decorating their door with a holiday themed door design. We brought back our annual class Christmas tree decorating competition and staff holiday card competitions as well. We are currently in the midst of our holiday spirit week, and this Thursday we will host our annual holiday movie and craft night in the gym. Next slide, please. Student voice is a big part of all that we do at THS. Each month, we host a House of Reps meeting where students from each 4th period class on campus come together to discuss concerns and possible solutions that they have for different issues that they are seeing on campus. Through this forum, we are able to enact change in the different areas of needs our student body identifies. We also host a quarterly Club Senate meeting where leaders from every club on campus come together to discuss best practices and ways that we can be more inclusive of every group on campus. We love having the opportunity to work with different members of the Torres High School community to help everyone to have the best high school experience possible. Next slide, please. This fall, we have put a major focus on our PBIS rewards program to reward students for doing good. Students have the opportunity to earn Toro points, which can be redeemed for a number of different prizes on campus. Prizes include gift cards, Toro gear, snow cones, nachos, hot chocolate, and other great snacks. It is exciting to see both staff and students celebrate all of the positive things happening around THS. Next slide, please. At the end of November, the Torres cross country, football team, and band and color guard all participated in the Madera Lights Parade. It is super exciting to see our Torres Toros represented in the community. Next slide, please. In late November, our public safety program traveled to Fresno County Jail for a facility tour. Students in the pathway got an inside look at what it is like to work in a jail setting. And over the weekend, our CTE Theater Arts students traveled to San Francisco to experience a Broadway production of The Lion King. Just last month, junior Alana Navarro was recognized by the FCCLA National Officers as one of their members of the month for the month of November. Alana currently serves as our region president and will be running for state officer this spring. We are so excited to see all that she does throughout her journey in FCCLA leadership. Next slide, please. Our speech and debate team is well on their way to making history in Madera Unified and in the Central Valley. Last weekend, 10 Torres students competed at Clovis East in the annual Redwood Region Speech and Debate Tournament. Our students represented Torres well, presenting different forms of speeches and debates in a competitive setting. Please join us in congratulating Max Tripp in Original Advocacy and Belinda Higueredia Vasquez in Original Oratory for winning in their divisions. Max Tripp placed second and Belinda Higueredia Vasquez placed third. Next slide, please. Two of our Torres choir students joined Madera Community College music program in its first ever concert. Junior Ivy Cobbs and senior Samantha Velasquez joined the Mountain Lions in singing a variety of holiday songs. It is exciting to see our Toros partner with local colleges to support the arts. Next slide, please. The fall season has been one of great success for our Torres Toros. Our boys cross country team won their second Valley Championship in school history and went on to take 5th place in the state meet. Junior Irene Martinez of our girls cross country team placed in the top 10 in the section and also went on to compete in the state meet. Our Torres football team won the Division 4 Central Section Valley Championship, defeating Dos Palos High School 69-14. We are incredibly proud of our athletics programs making history and leaving a legacy so early in our school's history. Next slide, please. Now here is a list of our upcoming events. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Item number 8, student board member information and report. Unfortunately, student trustee Beverly Lianos was not able to attend tonight's meeting. Alternate student trustee Adriana Gomez Leon will present from Madera South High School. Student board member information and report in trustee Leon's place. Adriana Gomez Leon of Madera High and Swati Taha at Madera High School. Trustee Gomez Leon, I invite you to share your report with the board.
Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, and members of the public. This week, we're excited to continue our tradition of Stanley's Season of Giving. Our wonderful ASB team helps grant students as many wishes as possible. We also have holiday dress-up days and activities to kick off Vitals Week. Since our last report, we held our first Students' Voice meeting on November 27th during lunch. We invited a variety of students to get feedback. Glad to hear that students have teachers that they can trust and have good relationships, leading to successful learning experiences. One issue that was brought up in this meeting was how students do not like using third-party apps in place of instruction. Students would like more step-by-step instruction methods from their teachers, visual representation, as well as one-on-one conversation with teachers. This helps them to be able to really understand and remember what is being taught in class. I plan to talk with Mr. Simons to find other solutions that can help students be more engaged and active in their classroom. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Gomez Leon. Trustee Taha, I invite you to share your report with the board.
Thank you. Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, Board of Trustees, and members of the public. I hope you're all doing well today. I'd like to report that when I attended the 2023 Annual Education Conference on November 29th, I was able to learn a lot more about my role as a student trustee, and I was able to network with many of the other student trustees and create new connections that can help me better serve my school. I relayed back all that I learned to my alternative and have begun planning how I can utilize my new resources and information to help guide what I do on my campus to be a more effective student trustee. My alternate and I have also begun discussing and planning to meet with various clubs at Madera High School to receive more student feedback and get a better understanding of the needs and wants of our students. We plan to invite all club leaders to future student voice meetings, as well as any students who are interested in participating. So far, we have addressed certain concerns by speaking with staff members that can help with the issues in particular, and have begun making plans of action for new issues to tackle. I'd also like to quickly announce that tomorrow we are hosting our annual Coyote Tree Lane for the whole community to enjoy, and I invite you all to be there. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Taha. Item number 9, communications, student and staff recognition. Item number 9A1, recognition of Madera South Power Mechanics for receiving the Associated Equipment Distributors Accreditation. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, we have a room full of our principals here. So it's a really fun moment for Madera South to shine because they get to shine in front of their peers. This is not a small thing, and Director McKenna is going to approach the podium today and explain it, but it is rare, it was difficult, and it makes a big difference. So if you would, Director McKenna.
Yep. President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle, and public, I have with me today some guests from Reedley College. And oftentimes when I come to the dais to speak, it's about Madera FFA's extracurricular successes, but the foundation of any good CTE program is in the classroom. And when we talk about classroom instruction, we know that our pathway and our content needs to be tied to industry standard and lead to certification. So I'm going to introduce to my right, Nick Defteros. He is the lead instructor for Ag Mechanics at Reedley College, overseeing the CAT program, and he has 2 colleagues with him today that he will be introducing, as well as our teacher, Mr. Sharp, to talk about the Associated Equipment Distributors Accreditation that Mr. Sharp just went through. So Nick.
Thank you very much. And as Ms. McKenna mentioned, I'm here tonight with my associates, Mr. Arthur Faria, who is also an instructor in our equipment technician program, and Mr. Gary Winter, who is a representative of the Associated Equipment Distributors Foundation, to recognize Mr. Sharp, Madera South High School, and the Madera Unified School District on an accomplishment that is unprecedented in the state of California. So this accreditation that he has received is tied to industry. There are less than 20 schools in the nation that are currently accredited, and Madera South High School and Mr. Sharp are the very first school in the state of California to receive this accreditation. So congratulations to them. I'm going to have Mr. Gary Winter, who's a representative with the AED, talk just a little bit about what the AED is, and then we'll kind of finish up.
Try to be brief. I'm a former teacher, so we usually talk in 50-minute blocks. So my apologies.
Bell to bell.
Yeah. Well, I'm representing the AED tonight. In full disclosure, Nick and I taught together for 12 years at Reedley College, and we were the first program at Reedley, the first AED accredited college in California. And now there are 2 or 3 additional ones, and about 90 in the nation. So it is a big deal. The AED is an industry organization that represents heavy equipment. So you might equate ASE or NATEF for automotive or truck. Well, the AED is the equivalent for off-road equipment. And so there are a set of standards that when we evaluate a school, that can they teach to these technical standards that are long established. Basically, this program can reach 2 of the 6 standards, which is a real big leg up. There is a huge demand in industry for young technicians to work and come into the equipment repair industry. I think the estimates in the next 5 years, they're going to need like 74,000 nationwide. And that's a lot of very specialized, technically trained individuals. So these young people coming through this program could finish this program and maybe transfer into an AED accredited college, Reedley College, for example, and then have a leg up on others and get out and get a really good paying job that's in demand that has great potential for advancement, and that it can outsource. So we're very pleased to congratulate you. This is a big thing for California, and there'll be more to come, but you are the first. So congrats. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Gary. And as he mentioned, this really is tied to industry, and it's driven by industry. And they're the ones who have identified the standards that need to be taught. They pass those on to us as the college, and then we've passed them on to the high school. And so one of the things that this does is it creates this pipeline for students as they finish that program and come into Reedley College. As they complete our program and go to work in the industry, they are entering a field that is incredibly high demand, as Gary indicated, but also is a career that provides a living wage and that lifts students out of poverty. So this is really life-changing for the students we have. And the accomplishment that Chris has is definitely not done in a vacuum. And so we want to congratulate Chris, the administration at the high school, as well as the whole board on achieving this. So congratulations to you and congratulations to Chris.
And one shameless plug on the consent agenda tonight, we're asking to send Mr. Sharp to Las Vegas with these gentlemen for the AED conference. Thank you for your time this evening.
So Mr. Sharp, congratulations. Right, that's no small accomplishment. Obviously, it's going to make a huge difference in the lives of kids. And like Steinmetz is thinking right now, take that, principals. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you so much for all of this for our kids. We appreciate you coming tonight, and we appreciate the support and the opportunity to get our kids ready to walk out into the world, ready to work and ready to help themselves. That's incredible. Thank you again.
Thank you, Director McKenna. Item number 9A2, the Madera minutes. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, this has been a momentous time period between board meetings. That is for sure. And I think we got some of it here recorded for you if you didn't get to witness it yourself.
The Madera Unified School Culture and Climate Department, in collaboration with middle and high schools' Black student unions, held community Ruby Bridges Walk to School events with elementary schools on November 14th. The events aim to educate and inspire students to learn about racial equality, promote tolerance, and create change through education. Bridges was the first African-American student to integrate an elementary school on November 14th, 1960. BSU students also read picture books about Ruby Bridges to elementary students.
Remembering history, sharing knowledge with each other, learning through each other. There's content in the book that I'm sure our high school students aren't aware of, and that's a great opportunity to engage with our younger kids and kind of teach them at the same time.
The school climate transformation grant funded the books donated to the elementary classroom libraries by each BSU club.
And so being able to have the opportunity to read to them and to educate them about something just so major to me is a heartfelt warm, like it means a lot, because then I know that they get to know and they're going to remember who she is.
Over 120 Madera Unified ASB leadership students from Torres, Madera, and Madera South High School organized the first ever MUSD Day of Service to clean up their community. They partnered with the City of Madera and the Madera Rescue Mission to work on various projects, including cleaning up parks, painting buildings, and sorting food and clothing donations at the Madera Rescue Mission. School leadership believes such events are crucial for students since they positively impact the community and significantly contribute to their personal and academic growth. The students received support from Costco and Fury Chicken, who generously provided breakfast and lunch for the volunteers. Madera Unified Athletics held the inaugural Robert Abalo Holiday Hammer Wrestling Tournament, which was one of the largest high school competitions in the school district's history. The tournament featured 60 schools and nearly 800 of some of the top wrestlers in the state competed for the first ever champion for the Holiday Hammer. The tournament also gave medals to the top 8 wrestlers from 14 weight classes. The tournament was named after Robert Abalo, a great ambassador for the sport who had a profound impact on numerous students through wrestling, coaching, and teaching. Mr. Abalo passed away in 2020. Lincoln Elementary annual Living History Wax Museum event featured Mr. Mongo's sixth grade class who transformed the campus library with an ancient Egypt theme. Students designed costumes and presentations for the characters they portrayed, showcasing their work to fellow students, teachers, parents, and staff. Over the last few months, the Department of Community Services and Parent Resource Centers celebrated the success of various parenting programs in the PRC with several graduations. Parents dedicated themselves to personal growth and development through the PRC programs and successfully completed their respective courses, marking a pivotal movement in their lives and reinforcing the impact of our programming. Some classes included social-emotional, positive discipline, loving solutions, and PK classes. The commitment displayed by these parents not only transform their own lives, but will also contribute to the students' overall success and academic growth. The parent courses held 464 parents participate in one or more classes, and 237 graduated from the courses offered in the fall. The Madera Unified League of Elementary Schools, other known as Mules, held its cross-country and volleyball championships on Friday, December 8th. In the volleyball competition, the district champions were the Adams Elementary girls and the Lincoln Elementary boys. In the cross-country competition, students from Howard, Dixieland, Chavez, Lincoln, Virginia Lee Rose, and Madison emerged as champions in different grades. Congratulations to all the students who competed. The Torres High School's varsity football team achieved a monumental victory by defeating Los Palos 69-14 to become the CIF Division IV Valley champions on November 24. This qualified the team to advance to the state semifinal in Fontana, California, where, despite not securing a victory, they made history by advancing further than any football team in the district's history. This remarkable achievement has filled Madera Unified and the entire community with pride. The team's outstanding performance is a testament to their hard work and dedication.
A lot of hard work, a lot of time, dedication. We were at the grind all the way through COVID at the beginning, coming into it now, a lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time on the boards and the video, teaching these guys the game of football, and it's all paid off.
Madera Unified High School bands and their feeder schools illuminated the Madera Downtown Christmas Light Parade and played Christmas songs on November 30th. The Torres High School CIF champions and the Transportation Department also made an appearance. A heartfelt thanks to our wonderful community for the unwavering support of our schools. Over the last several weeks, school sites have held and will continue holding holiday winter concerts showcasing student music programs. The concerts are a great way to feature excellent holiday music and show how much progress the students have made since they started at the beginning of the school year. Madera Unified is proud of these musically talented students and all the music directors and staff for their hard work.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 9B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda. Mrs. Martinez?
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the agenda and within jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold the comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is opened. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on your screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time, and we do not have comments submitted in writing.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing and hearing no others, I close this public hearing. The following public hearing listed in the section is for an item included under new business. The public will have another opportunity to comment on the item at that time. 6:45 p.m. public hearing for final mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program and approving the proposal of New King Hussein School. It is 8:08 PM. And I open this for public hearing. Mrs. Martinez.
If you wish to address the board on this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing and hearing none, I close the public hearing at 8:09 PM. Item number 10, information and reports. Item number 10A, union time. At this time, I invite the presidents and the unions to address the board. Mr. Holder?
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, board members, Superintendent Lyle. I'll be real brief. Congratulations for your reelection into the position, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza. And I guess it's a little bit selfish on my part because every time there's a change in president, clerk, or superintendent over the last 11 years, it takes me 6 months to get the name straight. So with that said, I probably won't have to worry about that now. Second, board members, you all have been invited again to the upcoming Fresno Madera Service Center board meeting. That is scheduled on January 30th. I've asked again that you all please by January 23rd RSVP so that I can submit the names of any of you or all of you or a few of you that are attending. I know in the past we've had a good turnout. And again, last year, President Salazar and board member Fleek attended, and in prior years, board member Seibert, Mendoza, and some others have attended. So appreciate January 23rd, if you could let me know by that date. And again, it is on the 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holder. Other union presidents? Thank you. Item number 11, superintendent time. Superintendent Lyle?
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, I have some items this evening. I, along with trustees, attended the CSBA conference in San Francisco on November 29th through December 1st. We heard some relatively pessimistic news about the California budget for the upcoming year, but all of us who attended appreciated hearing directly from the state superintendent of public instruction, the state treasurer, and the state controller. So getting the information straight from those who know it best was very helpful. The MUSD Robert Arballo Wrestling Tournament was held on Friday, December 1st at Madera South High School. It was a massive tournament and a massive success, and an appropriate honor for Coach Arballo, who served this community for decades. The Stallion coaching staff should be very proud of their organizational effort and their leadership. It took a lot of that to make this happen. So congratulations to Coach Lopez, Director Devine, and Principal Steinmetz for representing us so successfully. The California League of Educators for the 2023-24 school year has been recently hosting its dinners to honor the finalists. The elegance of the evening matches the dignity of the honor. In elementary, the award on December 4th, elementary awards, the elementary awards were selected, and Monroe's Elizabeth Ochoa was awarded Educator of the Year and will represent Madera Unified and the entire region at the state level competition. Yesterday in the middle school awards, Ms. Nicole Nod from MTech and Janie Leal, a counselor from MLK Middle School, were also honored as finalists. And next week, our high school awards will be held on December 18th. And Ms. Mary Petrowski, who many of you recognize for her outstanding work as a teacher here in Madera South High School in nursing, and Counselor Lympha Sakta will also be honored as finalists. Secondary teachers at Madera Unified, in Madera Unified Teachers Association voted on whether or not to support a proposed change to the working day for the first time in many decades. The MUSD governing board had expressed the strong desire to provide more planning time for teachers that would closely match the opportunities that kids really want and benefit their elementary colleagues in terms of planning time. Just as important as this benefit is to students with these additional elective opportunities with credit recovery, AVID, work experience, and more, students have now 7 periods of courses for the upcoming year. But teachers will maintain only teaching 5 courses, which is what they currently teach. This will provide 1 more period each day for teachers in secondary to engage in professional activities that meet their needs. This was a difficult process and has not happened in the living memory of our educators. It represents a new chapter in Madera Unified's history, and we appreciate President Holder and his team for their professionalism and communication, and for helping us hold a very fair and honest election. And we appreciate our teachers for giving us the opportunity to try something new on behalf of everyone. Lastly, happy holidays to our trustees who represent the community with professionalism, to the teachers and support staff who act as true student champions every day. These days of direct service to students and families are very challenging indeed. The pressure since the pandemic has never let up. The teacher leaders and site leaders are out there working very hard to elevate our students' academic, artistic, and athletic performances while developing activities that make kids feel connected. This takes leadership, and leadership in any form is very difficult these days. We are blessed with models at our schools, in departments, in our labor associations, and at the district level. It is often easy to focus on the loss and not the gain, detriments and not the assets. Sometimes we are lucky and have an experience that refocuses us at just the right time. That happened for a few of us last week. I want to thank the Alternative Education Student Trustee, Mia Garza, and the Student Voice team she assembled. Mr. Gonzalez at Ripperton, Mr. Montiel at Mount Vista, Ms. Anguiano at Furman, all met with Mr. Carrasco, Ms. Soto, and me, and a whole large group of students. They made us so proud of their positive outlook, their leadership, and the requests they made for all the students in their schools. All of us walked away realizing the importance of student champion adults and the cultures they lead. This reminded us of why we believe and why strong connections and cultures are improvement strategies. This time of year, we want to believe in the goodness in the world. The Alt Ed Student Voice team and the incredible successes of this fall all across Madera Unified, I think really do help us to believe. So happy holidays to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 12, consent agenda. Mrs. Martinez?
Items listed under consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests specific items to be considered and discussed separately and or removed from the consent agenda prior to adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval of all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
I now open the consent agenda for public comments. Mrs. Martinez.
If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. See no one come forward, I close public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion. Trustees?
Trustee Cortez, I move to approve the consent agenda with the revision to item E.
Thank you. Do I have a second motion?
Yeah, one second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Cortez and second by trustee Ahmad to approve the consent agenda. There is one resolution listed in the consent agenda. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for her service, not only to Madera, but also for her service and commitment to the Madera community. Jaime Ortega, bus driver who retired on December 1st, 2023, after 18 years of service. Raquel Schwartzitz, office technician at MLK, who would retire on December 22nd after 22 years of service. Thank you for your service and dedication. Item number 13, old business. Item number 13A, educational services. Approve school plans for student achievement.
So President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, as you all know, Associate Superintendent Sissel is not in attendance tonight, but the principals are all here to answer any questions you might have about our plans for student achievement. They worked really hard on these. They're here to be accountable for them. And I know you read them diligently, word for word. They are here and we could take our time. I'm sure they're really happy to all be here on a Tuesday evening. So I see their smiling faces and they're fake. I mean, professional.
Okay, I now open this for public comment. Mrs. Martinez?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Clerk Mendoza?
No questions.
The only, not really a question is, when you guys receive the reports, principals, I know, some of this is from prior students in your sites, that you take these reports and you look at them and kind of decipher them. I know some of your plans, I've seen that, I went through every school that I could. I just entrusted, and I know you do, for our best of our students and looking which different areas we need to improve and which ones, what is working, so we can move forward with our plans, so we could meet our goals as a school district and give that dedication to our students and show them the support that they can do it, and you are there for support for each one of our sites. And I thank you very much for all your dedication and help and long hours we put into these different reportings. Thank you. Excuse me. I now entertain a motion and a second to approve item 13A1. Please state your name when you make a motion and second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to approve the school plans for student achievement as presented.
Excuse me, do I have a second?
Trustee Fleek, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Fleek to approve item 13A. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Item number 14, new business. Item 14A1, Administrative and Supportive Services, adopt resolution number 222324, the final mitigated negative declaration of mitigation monitoring and reporting program, and approve the proposed new King Hussein School.
So happy holidays to all. Exit stage left even. President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we have Director Cox from Facilities and Planning and Construction Management here to present this item. Ms. Cox, if you would, the floor is yours.
Good evening, President Salazar, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle. As you know, part of the process of building a new school is obtaining approval from various state agencies. Two of them are the Department of Toxic Substance Control, DTSC, and the California Department of Education, CDE. The district enlisted the help of Crawford and Boeing Planning and Krazan Associates to help us prepare various reports. One of the reports was the Preliminary Environmental Assessment, the PEA. At the July 25th meeting, the board adopted the PEA for King Hussein site, which summarized the results of the environmental investigation, indicating that no further assessment was necessary and no mitigation measures were warranted. And so the PEA report was then submitted to DTSC, the Department of Toxic Substance Control, on September, and then it was approved by DTSC on September 28th. Now that the PEA has been approved by DTSC, the initial study, also known as the Mitigated Negative Declaration, has been prepared in response to the requirement of the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA. And so by adopting this resolution tonight and approving the initial study Mitigated Negative Declaration, the district can then submit the entire CEQA packet to the California Department of Education, which again is a requirement in order to build a new school. And so tonight via Zoom, I believe we have Travis Crawford from Crawford and Boeing Planning to provide just a little bit more information on the CEQA document and the CEQA process. So Travis, if you're there via Zoom.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. Thank you. Good evening. Again, my name is Travis Crawford. I'm an environmental planner with Crawford and Boeing Planning. Really appreciate the opportunity to work with the district on this project. I'm going to give you just a brief overview of the environmental compliance process, the next steps, and then the board can open it up for public comment at your discretion. So as you're aware, the project will construct a transitional kindergarten through 8th grade school campus for approximately 1,000 students and staff. And it'll include classroom facilities, a multi-purpose building, administrative facilities, playgrounds, play fields, and other improvements. So for the project, the district is required to comply with the California Environmental Quality Act, otherwise known as CEQA. And for this project, like Rosalind said, a mitigated negative declaration was the appropriate level of documentation. So that document, we analyzed the 20 environmental topics required by CEQA, and that includes things like air quality and biology, cultural resources, hazardous materials, traffic, water quality, et cetera. So to support our analysis, we had a series of technical studies prepared, and that included a biological survey, an infrastructure study, and a traffic study. We also relied on the findings of the preliminary environmental assessment for the project that was processed through the Department of Toxic Substances Control. So after analysis, the document concluded that there were no significant environmental impacts. However, there were some minor mitigation measures that are required in order to make that determination. There were standard protection measures for biology and cultural resources, some traffic improvements, as well as some noise control measures that are in place during construction. So in accordance with CEQA, a notice of availability was published in the Madera Tribune on November 1st, and notice was sent to adjacent landowners and public agencies. The document was also circulated to the state clearinghouse for a period of 30 days. From the clearinghouse, it was sent to various agencies like Caltrans, the Air District, California Fish and Wildlife, and several, I think 15 different agencies. The required 30-day review period was from November 1st through December 1st. And during that period, the district did not receive any comment letters from the public or from any agencies. So that brings us to tonight. That's kind of the CEQA document in a nutshell. At the conclusion of the hearing, the district at their discretion can adopt the mitigated negative declaration and have directed Rosalind to sign the notice of determination, and we will work with her to get that filed with the county clerk and the state clearinghouse, and that will effectively end the CEQA process, and we can move on to the CDE compliance process. So that concludes my presentation, and I can answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you. I now open this for public comment. Mrs. Martinez?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have any participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Trustee Fleet?
I just wanted to ask, who does your cultural resources?
Travis, can you
Yeah.
answer that?
Sure. So for this one, we didn't do a cultural survey. We did a cultural record search, and that's done through California State Bakersfield, and they produced a document that said there were no known cultural resources on the site. And they notified us of, other surveys that have been done in the area as well. So that's what we did for cultural resources. There is cultural mitigation included in the document, just in case something is found during construction, during ground disturbing activities.
And then you have to stop everything.
Correct.
Trustees, do I have any further questions?
Director Cox, just because you got up and everybody left, don't think you were felt abandoned, okay? Because, we are here for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had one question on the air pollution control study, like for the future that we're gonna have, because we have a neighborhood, a newer neighborhood close where the school's gonna go up. Did we, I don't see anything about that. Well, I saw that it was done, but do we have any mitigation or anything on that since?
Sure. So for air quality, the project actually qualifies for, it's called a small project level analysis. And that's predetermined by the air district. Projects under a certain size are predetermined to have less than significant impacts. So therefore, we don't have to do the actual calculations for the air impacts. So it's essentially exempt from air district review because of the relatively small project size.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I now entertain a motion and a second to approve the 14A1. Please state your name when you make the motion and second the motion.
Trustee Fleek, I move to adopt the resolution number 22-2023-24, final mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program, and approving the proposed new King Hussein School.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Trustee Seibert, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Fleek and second by trustee Seibert to approve item 14A1. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
President Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Now on to item number 14B1, Educational Services. Present and discuss the proposed secondary 7 through 12 new course submissions for 2024 and 2025 school year. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, we have with us Director McKenna, who's standing in this evening for Associate Superintendent Sissel. She has with her a couple of trusty friends, I'm sure online, and we have Director Gillis here who's in person. Want to commend him on his haircut and envy his whiskers.
Good evening again, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and Superintendent Lyle. This is a kind of routine every year item that we do. The Curriculum Council is an internal process where we look at new courses that are needed within our school district every year. And so the Curriculum Council Committee meets every other week between September and November to look at new courses and needs for the sites. And that committee is made up of our principals and deans at the secondary sites, as well as directors in ed services, as well as other areas. And we look at the need for new subject areas and new courses. And so this year with high school having a 7-period day, we didn't know that going into the Curriculum Council process, but we looked at courses if it were to pass. And so we have a number of new courses tonight. Overall, you'll see nothing new in CTE pathways. Our CTE pathways have been built out pretty well over the last 8 years or so, but we do have a new CTE leadership course that's being proposed. That would be an elective for students in a career technical student organization, like we have ASB leadership, for them to plan and do more for their club cultures. Additionally, we have 2 general electives that I would speak to. Usually this goes through the curriculum instruction and assessment department, but in the absence of a director, Mr. Gillis and I filled in this year in this committee's role. So we also have a general journalism class that would be an elective for students. That was a course proposed by Madera South as a trial, as well as a film studies course presented by Torres High School. Both of those would be electives for A to G. In addition, Mr. Gillis, and I'm going to invite him up here in a second, rewrote and kind of restructured what our visual and performing arts options are for students. And you'll see a lot of exciting things, and I'll let him explain what those are. But in front of you, you have all of the courses that were approved by the Curriculum Council Committee, as well as the unit overviews for all those courses. So I will invite Mr. Gillis up, and then we'll take any questions. This will come back in January for the second read and approval.
Thank you, Ms. McKenna. Hello, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board. Thank you for having us tonight. In addition to the courses that Ms. McKenna introduced, we also have new courses through Curriculum Council in dance. Some great circumstances in the visual and performing arts at large have happened. You are aware that Proposition 28 passed statewide that is intended to provide funding to expand enrollment and expand access to the arts. So in middle school and in high school, we're introducing a folklorico class and a contemporary dance class. It would be likely, depending on how it's hired, the same teacher, but the same credentials. So we're able to offer those new offerings. In music, we're offering asking for approval of a musicianship class, in addition to whatever music ensemble a student is in, or if they just have a weekend banda and they're not in a formal music class at school. This is a class that's intended to improve students' music theory, ear training, and understanding of composition and technology, kind of the tools and foundations of all music. So whether a student's in another music class or not, this is a place for them. And perhaps the largest transformation as far as from the way we've always done things is in visual art. Another one of those perfect storm opportunities is having art from TK through 12th grade now, a coherent pathway all the way through. With that, we know that our students are entering high school with different or more advanced foundational knowledge than they've had in the past for art. So we don't need to start at page 1 anymore in 9th grade. With that, we also know that from talking to university partners, that their expectations for our students are that they have diverse art experiences that show their artistic thinking and their creativity as artists, and that that's more important than being a master of painting, for instance. So our new course structure, which you see outlined in the agenda item, offers ceramics, printmaking, sculpture, painting, mixed media, and drawing as semester courses for sophomores or juniors, anyone who's already taken Art 1. And then we rewrote Art 1 as an introductory class to sort of survey those different mediums. So the new concept is In Art One, dabble in a bunch of little things. In your second year, choose some specific focus areas that you can develop technical skills in, like ceramics is very technical. And then in a future course next year, we will introduce this through Curriculum Council. We want to provide more of a studio experience for students to create their own work and to build their portfolio that they can use to further their education or career in art. So those are the new courses from our department.
We would entertain any questions that the board had on any prior to the second reading.
Mr. Seibert?
Okay. I'm very excited about the VAPA. I support very much. That's in my heart. I like to see the contemporary dancing because I've seen it myself, my son being in, in that part. I've seen how CalArts combines music with the dancing, the choreography, they all work together. So the contemporary dance, I think, is a good way to express how you are. If you're stressed or whatever, you're not it's a free, it's kind of like jazz, you do it yourself. So it's very, I'm glad to see that. I just want to know, this is a course, but the course doesn't mean that it's going to be taught. There has to be interest, correct? Or
So
does it
kind of the
work?
next steps here are at the next board meeting, you guys approve those. Counselors go out and they survey students. So these things will show up on course tallies, right? So these are now options that students can pick as they're picking electives for next year. And then based on the number of students that pick elective would then have Brandon and I, when we meet with our principals, determine the number of sections and teachers that we would need to hire or find for the different courses. So it's all based on student interest.
So what's the minimum amount of students to start create a course or start a course like in, this kind of VAPA courses?
So there are lots of trade-offs and decisions that have to be made, right? Because accepting fewer students in one class means another class might have more students. And I would say that it's pretty consistent practice in trying to start new programs to allow that number to be lower. So maybe a traditional high school elective that's longstanding might be at 25 or 30 as a minimum. But I would hope that we could work out in the schedules, and especially with new funding through Proposition 28. Maybe if we had 15 students, we could make a good show the first year and recruit more.
But obviously with students at high school having a 7-period day next year, most students need an elective. So there's more opportunities for students to explore some things. One of the things that in the past has been a problem on a 6-period day is essentially Brandon and I, teachers are in competition for the same kids. And you have to often pick CTE or VAPA, and that picking no longer necessarily needs to happen. Students have an opportunity to be able to do both. So I think we both can say that we're excited for the opportunity it presents for our students. And then obviously even further, the opportunity for like our ELD students that have to take a support class to get an elective they're passionate about.
I'd like to add just really quickly, we're in a little bit of uncharted territory. We can make some educated guesses about what might be of interest to kids if we had a 7-period day, but since we've never had one before, we don't know that exactly. So there will be a learning curve here for the next few years as we really understand the best way to roll these courses out, the best way to advertise them and to recruit students to be interested. It's going to take a little bit of time, and some of them that are not as obvious to the general education population here in Madera. Contemporary dance might be one of them. That might not be quite as obvious a course that somebody might be interested in, but depending on what word of mouth is like from year 1, year 2 can be quite popular. And we've seen this recently with MTech. So there is a little bit of breakage that we have to allow for here. And we need to allow our teachers to explore some opportunities, our students to explore some opportunities. And this is going to be a challenging process to a degree. So I want you to know we've worked really hard to have this be as tight as possible. However, we are in a new world now, and it's going to be really interesting to see where it goes. And as we emphasize the graduate profile, and as we start to really revamp the style of learning that our students engage in, that these opportunities now present, we're going to see some things arise from this that we may not predict just yet. So I think that's exciting because it gives us a chance to be dynamic.
question on journalism. Does that fall under the arts or what?
It's actually, it doesn't fall under either Brandon or I as CTE or VAPA. It is considered a general elective, so that requires an English teacher to teach it. So it's just an opportunity for a student that maybe doesn't find something attractive in CTE and or VAPA to explore something else. So Madera High used to have a journalism class years and years ago with Mr. Broff Stevenson. And there's a teacher at Madera South right now that taught it at a previous district and is wanting to kind of try it and pilot it this year.
That I didn't bring forward this list of journalists at Virgin Education, Central Arts.
Oh, like on the cover sheet? Yeah, that was a general elective that came at the last minute, so we can adjust that for the next one, but that would be a general elective for any
Everything else
students.
falls underneath those categories.
The film studies would also be a general elective. Everything else is CTE or VAPA. Yeah. And I believe that was a targeted junior or senior level class.
Any other questions for staff? Yes.
So are these new classes going to be introduced in the format as like pathways where you can take one and then move on to the next level and the next level? Or are they going to be like introduced as like an elective class that you can take, I guess, for 1 year?
Yeah, thank you for the very insightful question. In part of our way of looking at structuring courses to make sense, especially in the arts, we did rely on the CTE model of courses where you have an introduction and then you dig deeper in a concentrator level course and then you have a capstone experience. The extent to which we can meet the qualifications of career technical education and being a pathway completer, we're still working on. That requires additional steps of advisories, but we are structured in that way so that there's a logical next step for students. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it might be relevant to also say that let's imagine that journalism becomes wildly popular. Well, you can't take the same course twice. So if there's a lot of freshmen that want to take it as sophomores or a lot of year ones, regardless of
So
their
I think
year,
the
they
year
want to
one
take
would
it
be
year two,
sophomores.
then we would create this time next year, we'd be bringing you journalism too.
Yep, or an advanced journalism. And so right now the journalism class has a prerequisite of English 9. So they want him to have a high school English class. So 10th graders could take it. But yes, he's already talked about and then, so yes, if there's good enrollment and interest, we would then come back next year with a advanced option.
And as an example, in most high schools, those kinds of classes don't necessarily have like a full journalism 3 class, right? It would be a combined class of journalism 1 and 2s and 3s. And then your editors would, those kids that have had the most experience would be at the top of that and they would be in the room organizing that work. So it's by adding in 1, you're not like creating, you're not opening the door to add in all these sections that take up spots. The principals are going to get really creative along with the counselors and master scheduling these things to make sure that we meet the needs properly.
Does each high school have their own yearbook class?
They do, yes. All 3 high schools have that already.
Is there a prerequisite for it?
No. Well, maybe sophomore and above. I'm not sure.
I don't think
That's
so.
in the core area to have to look at that one for you. But all 3 high schools do offer it and they build the yearbook. Right now, a lot of students can't fit it into their schedule until junior or senior year. But again, that'll change on a 7-period day.
Thank you, Director McKenna and Mr. Lewis. Item number 14C, on fiscal services, approved the 23-24 first interim report.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, this is what the crowd's been waiting for. CFO Garcia, the floor is yours. As always, thank you for the hard work and the diligence that goes into preparing this report and preparing this presentation. So thank you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle. Is the time of the year that we need to review and approve the first interim report. So I have a presentation for you. So we're gonna look at the enrollment and attendance and the general fund revenue and expenditures or ending balance and reserve, the one-time funds, multi-year projections, future years ending balances and reserve, or checkbook balance in some of the expenditures monthly in cash flow, other funds, and the OPEB trust. So, and or enrollment and attendance this year, the 23-24, we projected enrollment of 20,312. As a CBITS Day or CalPATS, what is being reported, we are at 20,191. So our enrollment was lower than projected, but it's higher than last year. So we grew 40 students from the prior year. For that reason that our enrollment was lower than projected for this year, we have to adjust our attendance or ADA. So the projected ADA, when we started the fiscal year, we were projecting 18,777 ADA, but we were going to be funded at 18,943. So in average, or LCFF revenue is $15,904 per ADA. And so the ADA means the days that the students come to school. So every day that the student doesn't come to school, the district loses funding. So it's very important that, our students are there every day, first, to not lose the instruction, and second, for the district to receive all the funding that is entitled to. Or enrollment, the reason why the enrollment is lower than projected, or TK students are not coming as we were projecting in the past. We were expecting about 300 students every year. We've been seeing, lower numbers than what we were anticipating. So we have 2 more years of increasing the eligibility. So we are adjusting the enrollment projections for the next fiscal years, so that projection for new TK students is going to be, seeing what the history has told us in the last 3 years, that the TK students enrollment is lower. General fund revenue, we are at 427.2 million, includes the 11 million on STIRS on behalf. The unrestricted funds are 282.6 million, or 66% of the total revenue. LCFF itself is 305 million, and includes the 8.22% COLA for this year. The state and local revenue is 6.6 million. And from the unrestricted, we take 29 million and we bring it to the restricted side to fund the 2 programs, that is the special education and the routine repair and maintenance. The restricted side, we have 144.6 million, or 34% of the total revenue. Federal revenue is 52.8, state revenue is 56, and local revenue 6.8. And you can see that 29 million that we brought from the unrestricted as a positive number on the contribution for restricted. New funding that is in that revenue is the Proposition 28, and so that is 3.8 million, and it's included in there. We got a little bit of revenue for the low carbon fuel credits. We received last year 3,000, and this year we have received 8,000. And also for the solar credits, last year we received 16,000, 23,000 last year. We have received 16,000 this year so far for the solar credits. Okay, so here is the changes since modified budget. When we adopted the budget, we were at 402.4 million. When we modified the budget and brought the carryover from the prior year, we were at 424.3 million, and first interim 427.2 million. So the increase is 2.9. Most of it is, I put the major increases, some more funding in state lottery. We have a portion in unrestricted and a portion in restricted. State lottery, we use it mostly for textbook purchases. We have an increase in Title I and Title II, CTE, a school-based mental grant. And we have a new grant that is the dual enrollment, and Director McKenna is in charge of that. Each high school receive 100,000, and is one time and for each high school. Proposition 28, we already have that 3.8, but we got 100,000 more on that funding. And the 1 million is for the California School Employee Summer Assistant Program. As the board knows, we participate in that program. In the state, the employees that are paid 11 months, they save throughout the months. And for each dollar that they save, the state matches $1 to them. And that money is paid to them at the end of July when they don't have a salary check. But we don't receive the funds until like September. So we paid and then the state reimburses. So that is the 1 million that you see there. The decrease is $500,000 on LCFF, and that is due to the lower enrollment that for this year.
Are there stipulations on the dual enrollment, the new?
The new grant?
Yeah, does it have to be spent on?
I'm not sure, but I'll find out and let you know because Director McKenna is the one that applied for that grant. And but I know that it's some criteria that we have to meet.
And it's new, so.
Arelis or Norma, this is Director McKenna on Zoom. So the CCAP grants, each high school got $100,000. In that, we had to apply for specific needs. So the majority of what we applied for our high schools is professional development and collaboration time between the high school and the college adjuncts, as well as an opportunity to build what's called online only resources. So getting away from the really expensive college texts to do open educational resources online to reduce our future costs. So it's collaboration on that, as well as attending the dual enrollment conferences with the community college teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director McKenna. So our general fund expenditure is at 503 million. It also includes the 11,000 stairs on behalf. Our major expenditures, salaries and benefits, of course, is 310.2 million. Special education for the whole program, we have a budget of 38.5 million. Our routine repair and maintenance, 13 million. And we have a requirement that 3% of our general fund expenditure budget must be in routine repair and maintenance. Transportation, 9.6 million. We added, for first interim, we added 612,000 for 3 new gasoline buses that we're looking for. Utilities, 9.4 million. And that budget includes, or the updates that we have in the salary for the classified study costs that we updated just last month. We're comparing adopted budget to modified in first interim. So when we adopted the budget on July 1st, we were at 408.9 million. Modified budget, when we brought the carryover from the prior year, we went to 494.3 million. And now for first interim, we are at 503 million. So the increase was 8.7 million. And as you can see, we have a pluses and minuses between the categories is because most of the grants or the one-time funds, the money is sitting on the materials and we move it around in different categories as we need it. So the major changes, we have the LCFF new positions that we added, 1 million, and that is mainly for, we added 1 FTE for the teacher for the top program, the therapeutic, yes, and 1 FTE for a department secretary. I think it was student services or special education. And 9 FTE for the safety officers that the board approved not too long ago. So those are in the budget already. Classified study, 3.5 million. That is just for the general fund. Remember that we also updated salaries for paraprofessionals that are funded through the preschool program. And we also, the cafeteria, the child nutrition staff, most of them were the child nutrition technicians. And so that one is covered by their own fund. Proposition 28, 1.8 million. So that means that the money was sitting in materials. We move it to salaries and benefits for the positions that we needed to fund. The SAP stipends, that is the strategic plan for the, so we update academic plan. So we updated the stipends. The board approved to increase the stipend 5,000 per participant. And so that is 1.8 million 1.5 million. ELOP enrichment and summer school, we pay all those timesheets, anything that is work in July, we pay it in August. So we move that money also from the materials to the salaries and benefits. And the classified employee summer assistant that I talked to you about earlier, the 1 million, we pay that and we receive the money in.
I have a question, CFO
Yes.
Garcia. The sub stipends is just for the leaders, the department leaders, right? The teachers.
We have a whole team at each of the schools. So I know that for each high school,
Leaders.
yes, but high school is like 10. Someone help me, 10 and the.
But they're the leaders, the ones that attend that. Okay, thank you.
So the ending balance and reserve, we are estimating our ending balance for this year at 89.4 million. And from that, we have the non-spendable that is on inventory and petty cash at 597,000. Assign or vacation accrual every year when we close the books, we take an account how much vacation the employees that accrue vacation have on the books, and we set that money aside because we have to pay vacation when they take that time. And committed funds, we have the committed the lottery books, concentration funds, and also the 22 million that we set aside 2 years ago for salaries and benefits that has been previously covered with COVID-19 relief funds. Remember, this is the last year of COVID relief funds. At the end of this year, all those positions that we've been paying with COVID, they are going to be absorbed by mostly unrestricted general fund, LCFF. And we have a plan. One-time fund updates. As you can see, all these funds since 2021, we've been receiving every year, but they have deadlines, and we've been meeting the deadline, making sure we take advantage of all these and maximize it so we can take advantage and use them. And this is the last year. Right now, in year 23-24, we have 72 million in the budget, and mostly is for the ESSER 3. A little bit of ELOG and the arts, music, and instructional materials grant and the learning recovery grant. So those are the only grants that are left for the one-time funds. We have the whole 72 million is in the budget. Next slide. So you can see that. So we have it in the budget. From the 72 million, 18.8 is encumbered. 13.7 is already spent, and we have 39.5 million that is still available in the balance in the accounts. But if we don't use them, whatever is not used, it gets to carry over to the following year. And mostly will be for the arts, music grant or the learning recovery grant, because those have the deadline for 2026 and 2028. So we'll make sure that the ESSER and the ELOG are spent by June 30th. We have until September 30th, but I'll make sure it's spent by June 30th. Okay, so when we look at the multi-year assumptions, we know what is things that are gonna happen for sure, and we have some other items that we are not sure what they are gonna be. So, but we know they are gonna affect. And so the certainties, we have the step and column salaries every year. Our employees that are moving through the salary schedule, we're gonna be moving one step, and we have to account for those increases. The CalSTRS, their contribution rate has been steady at 19.10%, and it's not expected to change for next year. CalPERS, on the other hand, is increasing from 27 to 28.10%. 3% increase in our health and welfare contribution. High school, we have a 7 period that we need to cover for next year. That according to the enrollment projections, that is not completed yet, but it's about 33 teachers that we're gonna need to cover the 7 period. So we have to have those positions for next year, and they will come in the core staffing in January when we bring it to the board for approval. And we have to cover those positions, and we have a plan. Minimum wage is going up to $16 in January 2024. The uncertainties, COLA, when we first adopted the budget and the state adopted the state budget, the governor, the COLA was projected at 3.94%. Well, the legislative analyst office gives the fiscal outlook just last week on December 7, and the COLA is not looking very good. So that 3.94 now, it looks more like a 1%. So we still it's not set in stone. In January, the governor is gonna give us the proposal for the 24-25 state budget. And at that time, we're gonna see what he proposes for COLA. So I have 3 scenarios for you to look at, and we're gonna go over that a little more in detail. Average daily attendance, like I mentioned earlier, our enrollment is not increasing as we were expecting. And for next year, it's looking that for the first year that I've been here in Madera Unified, we may be declining. So that means less students, less ADA, less revenue. So new school opening is gonna happen. We have the Hussein Elementary School that is supposed to open in August 2025. So next year we have to start the planning for the new principal, and the following year we have to hire new staff for that school. The consumer price index is, for inflation and cost increases, and we usually see the average is about 3%, but the last few years it's been more like 6%. Another assumption is that we're going to continue the interfund transfer. The board has prioritized the improvements of all and additional of new facilities for the quality environment and for our students. So assuming that we're going to maintain this transfer with the multi-year projection, it looks like this year and the following 2 years, we can continue the $10 million transfer. But in 26, 27, we may not be able to continue it. And this is not taking in consideration any negotiations for 24, 25, any salary increases. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the next 3 slides. So this one is the COLA that you see there is what the Department of Finance give us as a projection on July 1st. So it was saying, that COLA for 2025 was going to be 3.94%, and for 25, 26, 3.29%. So those 2 years combined, the new revenue was going to be about 19 million in new revenue in those 2 years. 23, 24, we already receive it. So the scenario 1 is not realistic anymore based on the information that we receive from the Legislative Analyst Office. So can you click on it? So that or 24, 25 in the new expenses, I'm already adding the 33 FTE to implement the 7 period at the high school. So that is about 3.5 million that we need to cover those positions. So, okay, just keep it in mind, but it's not happening. So here is scenario 2. So you see that the COLA for 24, 25, I changed that to 1%. So instead of receiving like 9 million, 10 million, it's only 1.8. So right there is a lower number in revenue. And because if we receive less money in 24, 25, it affects the 25, 26 because it compounds. So that means if that's happening, we are losing 18 million less revenue in the next 2 years. So scenario 2 is realistic, based on the LAO's most recent report. Okay, next slide. This one is scenario 3, and the superintendent called this the more pessimist scenario, but it's possible. It all depends what the state tell us in January. So changing the COLA for 25-26 to 2% now is 22 million less in revenue in the next 2 years. So this year, or right now at this moment, is the time for us to start really tighten the belt for looking at the expenditures. The superintendent executive cabinet, we've been very diligent looking at all the vacancies. We are gonna freeze any vacancies that are not needed. We're gonna look for expenditures that are not needed or are not working or are not, we can live without, to make sure that we are in good stand for the next few years. So you'll see new positions coming for approval, but are gonna be only the positions that are needed either for the core staffing, that is to implement the 7 period, and maybe to support a department that is really struggling or needs the help that we need to really look. But we're gonna be shifting some of the vacancies that we have currently to cover those new positions that we're gonna ask for approval. So using a scenario 2 that has the 1% and the 3.29 in the next 2 years, or ending balance will look like this. So 23-24, that is the current year, we're ending at 89.4 million. And as you can see, our reserve is not 10%, it's 8%. It's not bad, but of course 10% is better. The minimum reserve is 3% that is required by the state. So we're still above the requirement. For 24-25, or ending balance at 70.9 million, and 25-26, 51.6 million, and 26-27 at 45.8 million. Scenario 2. And that is the one that, that's what I use to report to the state, first, our current budget report. Yes, exactly. Yes. No, I didn't do the reserves. Okay, our checkbook balance as of October 31st, we ended with 170 million in our checkbook, like a cash. And we have the fair value adjustment that we do at the end of the year. So our net cash in county is 162 million. We have the liabilities, or accounts payable is 4.4 million. Health and welfare or pass-through account has 890,000. Employer taxes 1.5. Or retirees in health and welfare 845,000. And so all the other ones there, you see that due to other agencies or vendors, 86,000, or CSAP, that is the classified summer savings, is the 315,000. The deferred payroll 1.7, and or use tax liabilities 5,000. So our liabilities total almost 10 million. And so when we subtract that from the 162, we ended with 152 million. And we still have receivables, so that means someone owes money, 2.7 million. Yes, as of October 31st, yes. So for 23-24, this is our cash flow. July through October is actuals, and then November through June are estimates. So in December, we receive our local taxes. So that's why you see that blue bar, that is the receipts or revenue higher, but our expenditures is about 30. I have another slide later on, and it's about 33 million that we spend monthly. So here is more detail on our general monthly expenditures. On average, the district spends 33 million every month. And so for October, specifically for that month, we spend 25 million in salary and benefits. So that is true for every month except for July. In July is lower because we don't pay teachers in July. They get a check from their savings, but it's not salary that we have to pay to them. So for that reason, July, we only pay the year-round employees, mostly classified employees. And so, but from August through June, the salaries and benefits expenditures is about 25 million every year. We spend materials and supply 2.1 million. In services, we spend 5 million, and that includes contracts, utilities, and any other services like travel and conference, and other things. Capital outlay, 200,000, and other expenditures, 700,000. So we transferred to McSauce 460,000 every month, and that is their portion of the LCFF for the students that they serve, the students that belong to our district, but they serve. Okay, so here are the year-to-date expenditures as of October 31st, year-to-date payroll. So the budget is 310 million. As of October 31st, we have spent 84. And for materials, we have 90 million and we have spent 4. Remember, the materials includes the budget for those one-time funds. The money is sitting in that. That's why you see a larger blue bar that the budget is. We are not spending a lot, but remember that one-time funds, if we don't need to spend them, those monies carry over to the next year. So we have to show that we have the budget, but we don't have to spend it all at once. We have, like, for example, the Learning Recovery Grant, we have until 2028 to spend those funds. Services, we have 52.3 million in the budget. We have spent 17.6. And for capital outlay, we have 27 million and we have spent 3.7. And those graphs, we have a report that comes to the board every month in our financials. So I took that from there. And here is a table with our other funds. Besides the general fund, that is the first row in there, we have our student special revenue, and that is our ASB funds that we have at the three high schools and 3 middle schools, and few of the elementary schools. So the revenue we bring to the board and the actual revenue expenditures at the end of the year. So they have 841,000 beginning balance, and they are in the ending balance. We're projecting it at 737,000. But the actuals comes, the actual revenue and expenditures is reported at the end of the fiscal year. Adult education is Fund 11. We started the beginning balance with 550,000. And the revenue is 1.9, and we're spending 2.2. So the adult education is operating within its revenue. Child development, the same thing, 512,000 beginning balance, 4.5 revenue, and 5 million expenditures. So they are always budgeting the whole available funds. Child nutrition, we have a beginning balance 7.7 million. And the revenue is 19.9, and they are budgeting the expenditures at the same level, 19.9. So the ending balance is the same. The building fund, we have the beginning balance 37.9 million, and remember that those funds are for the bond that we sold back in 2022, and that is going to be used for the King Hussein School. So the 350,000 is just interest that we budget there, and the expenditures you see 6.5 million. That will increase probably in the spring when we start building that school. Developer fees, 6.4 million is the beginning balance. We're projecting that we're gonna receive 2.5 million. It's more or less the average that we're receiving in developer fees. And we're spending, we have already budgeted 3.6. And whatever we have left, we're gonna be using it for King Hussein. Redevelopment Agency, pretty much this fund is used to pay the COP that we have from many, many years that we acquired back when we were building Madera South. And as you can see in the column where it says transfer in and out, we have a 1.2 million, and that goes to the Fund 56 to make that payment for the COP. The Fund 35 is our county schools facilities, and that is the state match. So whenever we receive state match, that money comes in. We will also receive money there for any additional funding that the state give us. Like in this case, they give us some money for TK, the TK classrooms that we are building. And so we have 50 million there because we receive state match for Virginia Lee Rose, Math Tech, and Torres High School. And so we are spending, you see the expenditure, we have 20.8 million, and mostly is for Torres High School, the stadium. And so we're gonna be using some of those funds too for King Hussein. Fund 40 is our special reserve, and we have $1 million that you see in the transfer in column, and that comes from the general fund. And we use that fund to cover costs for any projects that don't meet the requirement for routine repair and maintenance. For example, we need cameras in the buildings. We need repair the well goes down. So we use this fund for that. Fund 41 is our special reserve building. And you see in the transfer in, we have the 10 million that we've been doing for the past, I'll say 10 years. And it comes from the general fund, the 10 million transfer. And we have 71.6 million beginning balance. And the 400,000 that you see there is just interest that we're estimating that we'll receive. And we have budgeted 10.3, and that is for the projects that we are covering right now. This fund is gonna be covering the TK expansion that for the schools that are not receiving state funds, the Madera High School renovations, the 8th grade expansion at Madison School. All those projects are going to be funded through here. And also King Hussein if we need to step in. The Fund 51 is where we paid the bonds that the voters pass for our district, and those funds are collected by the treasurer's office, and they make the payments for the principal and interest, but we have to show it in our books at the end of the year. So you will see that line there. All the money that comes in is collected by the treasurer's office, and we get the bill, we send it to them, they make the payment, and then they give us the transactions at the end of the year so we can report it in our books. Fund 56 is where we pay the COPs. We have 2 COPs, the old COP for Madera South High School. There's the certificates of participations, they are loans. And we have the other COP that we acquired for Torres High School. We're making the payment, 6.2 million, and the money comes mainly from the transfers from general fund to this in the Fund 27, the redevelopment agency, to make the payment. So the OPEB trust, it's the other post-employment benefits, and we opened an account for an OPEB trust back in 2018. So the advantages of having an OPEB trust is that the district is showing financial stability, and it mitigates the unfunded liability. So every 2 years we have a report called actuarial, and the company looks at how many employees do we have that will potentially be retired and qualify for retiree benefits or insurance benefits. And they make an estimate of how much it will cost the district to fund the unfunded liability. And so the money that we have in this trust offsets that liability. It also secured assets from creditors, so nobody can touch these funds, and may improve our credit rating. So we opened the account in 2018, and as of this month, October 31st, 2023, at the time of this report, we have 9.4, almost 5 million or 9.5 million in this account. 9 million has been a contribution from the district. So the earnings is only 537,000, and we have paid 75,000 in fees to the company, the bank that is handling these funds. We're still doing the 500,000 annual contribution. And the idea is that these savings will generate enough earnings to pay for the health insurance of our retirees in the future. The investments that we have this trust is, these are the four strategies that we can choose from. And as you can see, one is fixed, conservative, balance, and growth. So the one is more steady and the growth is more risky. So the district is in the balance strategy.
On your investments there, non-US equity. What exactly are we talking about there in that non-US equity?
I will have to
Stocks and
find.
stuff from foreign countries investments, or?
I will need to find out what exactly that is. This is from the U.S. bank, I think it's Vanguard. The Vanguard is the family funds.
Yeah, well, that one scares me, non-US equity. I'd like to know what that is. I
Yes,
don't think
but
I
as you
wanna
can
be
see,
that.
all like the three of them has it. The only one that doesn't have it is the fixed income strategy. So the other three strategies has the non-US equity.
Yeah, it doesn't have US equity either.
Exactly. So
Yeah, but my concern is the non-US equities.
So that would be non-US.
And what we're investing in and stuff. I'd like to have more information on that.
okay. Okay. So here is the detail how the OPEB has been doing this year. As you can see, the last 3 months has not been great. So we are, if that pace continues or the earnings that we have received in prior years will deplete it, and we'll start losing in the contribution that the district has been done so far.
So at what point, if we haven't been doing well in the last couple of months, at what point do we ask our person that the company that we're using to invest, what's happening?
We'll have to, because it's in a trust, we have to keep it in investment. So the only option that we have is change the strategy. Yes.
Yeah, so that's something, the discussion, at what point do we have the discussion?
We can make the decision. Since we opened the trust, it's always been in the balance strategy. So if the board gives me the direction that they want to go to the fixed strategy, I can make the change at any point.
They can also give us some illustrations on each of those scenarios as well, right? They should be able to.
Give us a.
Illustrations on each of the
Yes.
strategies.
So the options.
Correct.
Yes, and also the historical performance on those as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll ask for that, and then I'll bring it to the superintendent, the executive cabinet to look at it, and then we'll pass it on to probably the board leadership to give us direction.
Yeah, my concern is we have a downturn in the US. Like, US gets a cough, the rest of the countries, they have the flu. I mean, they just. So being an outside investment, outside equities, I don't, I'm no expert in this area, but I'm really concerned about that area.
Yeah, we could review those options like trustee Cortez and trustee Seibert suggested.
Arelis,
Thank
is
you.
there what's the potential? Like, let's just imagine for some reason the board decides they're not as interested in the OPEB trust. I mean, clearly it's not paying, it's not getting us what we thought it would, right? I mean, it hasn't performed the way we thought it would. And maybe we're not comfortable with some of the way it's structured. What are our options if we come to that conclusion as a team?
We can start using the funds to start paying for the retirees' health insurance now. So we pay like the district pays and request reimbursement from the trust. So, and we're spending about 2.5 million a year for the retirees' health and welfare. So we can withdraw 2.5 million every time, like every year.
And that offsets.
Yes, and so until we deplete it.
Yeah, and see what our investments at, what are the different options, and then we'll see about transferring some to the health once the board decides.
I have a question. I'm not expert either, so I'm wondering, do we have an advisor that advises us where to invest our money in, correct?
Yes.
And do we have, so they are advising, because they study, I'm pretty sure you consult with them and you say, it's not growing. So I'm wondering who is the advisor and how do you go about that?
So yeah, we work with a company that specializes in OPEB trusts. And so through the OPEB process, as Arelis has explained, they offer Vanguard family of funds. And what that is you're basically diversifying your investment. And so that's why you see those different colored areas up there, because you want to diversify when bond markets are doing well, equity markets, there's kind of some inverse relationships there. So you want to have a broad array of investments. I think it's important to note that just because the balance strategy maybe only has generated $500,000, it doesn't mean that a growth or a conservative strategy is going to generate any more. You'll see they're invested in those same areas, but a conservative strategy usually would be invested in more blue chip Dow Jones types investments, whereas a growth strategy is probably invested in smaller companies that, it's more tech oriented typically, where there's more risk, but there's more upside. So historically, when we've looked at the data that Trustee Cortez has asked about, in terms of historical performance, the balance strategy has performed better over the past 5-6 years. I can tell you that if Arelis runs this report after the first of the year, the last 2 months in the stock market have been very good.
Also, unlike an individual who's got a older individual who's got a shorter time horizon, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't necessarily have a time horizon because we have staff employees retiring every single year with for perpetually. So I don't think we have a time horizon per se, right?
That's an accurate statement. Historically, the stock market has generated close to an 8% return year over year, but that doesn't mean every year you're going to get 8%.
Right.
Some years it may produce a 20% return. Some years it may be a negative 6%. Anybody that tries to time the market is going to end up losing.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that's what we might be doing.
Yeah.
And I think, markets recover.
You have to ride the ebbs and flows.
Right. So we have time for this to recover. It's not like we're retiring in 2 years or 3 years and we're gonna realize a loss I think it's an unrealized loss.
I think that there's great value in looking at each of those strategies and seeing how they've been performing over the last couple of years. And another question I probably am going to have for our advisors is maybe it makes sense for us to not just be in one strategy. Maybe we should have some of that money in a fixed income fund, some of it in a balanced strategy, some of it a conservative strategy. And that's a way for us to diversify our investments even more.
Well, one of my concerns is, what countries are we invested in? And we got some bad relationships with China.
Yeah, I'm not
Taking in
sure.
Taiwan, and then what's going to happen to those countries all in that whole area.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. A lot of the non-US equity firms are probably firms that you would know the names of because they're big in the United States. They just may have a home base in their.
I just want to learn a little more about that and how
I
they're
agree.
investing that money and what countries they're into. And
Vanguard can provide us a list of their current holdings in each of those areas. Yep.
Thank you. That concludes my presentation. If you have any other questions.
Okay, thank you, Abeles. Now open this item up for public comment. Mrs. Martinez. Yeah, afterwards, we do public comment first. And then we get ours.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they appear on our screen. Comments provided in writing will be read after the live comments. President Salazar, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Trustee Seibert?
yes, on the ELP money, Extended Learning Opportunity Program, you've got 1.5 million over here, but we have a lot more money than that coming from ELP.
What slide are you looking on? The one-time funds?
Expenditure changes since modified
Oh,
budget.
that one was just the increase. So
That's
we
the
have
increase.
this year we're receiving 25 million in ELOP.
Is that reflected in all this?
It's included in the budget, yes, and the rev.
I didn't see that.
I didn't separate all the different revenues, but it's in the state funds.
State fund.
Yes,
That's like one time, that's not ongoing though.
it's ongoing, yes. The
Ongoing.
ELOP is ongoing. The 25 million that we have there, it's ongoing. As of right now, the state have not told us that they are reducing those funds.
So that's a one time, or is that gonna be $25 million a year or?
We're expecting another 25 million next year too.
Thank you.
Trustees, any other questions?
What is the reason for decline enrollment in Madera Unified?
The reason is since last year, we started increasing the eligibility for TK students. So they are coming in younger and younger to be eligible for TK. So we were projecting that we're gonna increase about 300 students a year. It has not happened. In the last 3 years, we've seen about, like, the first year was like 60% of the students that we were expecting, and then like 50, and now we see 40. So it's like because they are younger and younger. So next in 25, 26, we are gonna be enrolling 4-year-olds in TK. So I think parents are hesitant to send their kids that young to school. So we're not seeing that increase.
So Trustee Hoffman, one of the things to keep in mind is that around the state of California, the gamble, I mean, it didn't seem like it was a gamble at the time, I don't think, from the state legislature, but they imagined that by making TK universal, they would, and preschool, like expanding these opportunities, parents would flood their kids in. That has not happened. And it's literally statewide. It's a huge dilemma. I think for the governor and for the legislature, they were both in agreement, both parties were in agreement that this seemed like a really smart thing to do for the working families of California. But a lot of the working families of California don't, as CFO Garcia suggested, a lot of those working families just don't want to see such young kids outside their home being raised by others, right, in such sensitive circumstances. And we've also talked about an enrollment bubble that we've had for several years that's now coming through the system. So we did have some grade levels that were really inflated. One of the reasons why we really needed to get Torres finished was to make sure we had a place for all those students. But we have now, we're going into our second graduating class at Torres. So, Mr. Schwartz.
Just one note on TK. I think this is good information for the board. When we've done our staffing projections this year, Chad, our analyst out there, he looks at birth rates in Madera, and then he goes backwards to see, okay, in September, 4 years ago, how many kids were born in Madera, and then how many are actually enrolling in our schools. So we're calling that a capture rate. What we found is the kids that just missed the kindergarten cutoff, right? So they're like the first month eligible for TK, we're capturing a little over 60% of those kids that were born in Madera, you know, a few years prior. As we move out and the kids get younger and younger, we're only capturing about 30%. So the last month when kids are eligible to the new months that we just added for eligibility, we're only seeing about 30% of those kids enrolling in TK, which makes sense because, as superintendent alluded, parents are probably a little hesitant to enroll, you know, their younger students into school. So about between 60 and 30% is the percent that we're capturing in our TKs.
Yeah, over at the CSPA meeting also, one of the session I attended, they were saying overall in California, the birth rate is very low. And
That is correct, Trustee Ahmad. The birth rates are declining. And so as we're, you know, as Superintendent Lyle mentioned, we had these bubbles, grade level bubbles. As they are now leaving our school district, we're getting infilled by a smaller grade level. Like our kindergarten enrollment is significantly lower than 5 years ago.
Thank you.
Typically, our grade levels are about 1,500 students per grade level. The last couple of years, we're seeing about 1,300, so about 200 students less.
Okay. And one more question regarding about the school buses. I thought we was getting now electric buses. What happened now? This one is.
So,
gasoline,
yeah,
it's a
so
gasoline, but-
we are buying electric buses when we have grants available. Electric buses are about $400,000 a piece. And so there's a lot of funding available. So we're taking those available grants out there. The problem with electric buses is they can't do what we need them to do. They don't have the range. Being a rural school district, our buses go out in the morning, they'll do an elementary route. They don't come back to the yard and charge. Then they go out and do a middle school route and a high school route. So what we're finding is our electric buses that we have to be very selective on the routes that they do. Because once they finish those morning routes, we can't use them for MTech routes, or we can't use them for field trips because we've got to get them in the yard and charge them for a few hours. So we have a real need still for gasoline buses to be able to take to trips to San Francisco or wherever we're going. I can tell you right now, we can't buy diesel buses anymore. You can't buy CNG buses anymore. You've got really three options: gasoline, propane, and electric. And so we're trying to make sure we position ourselves so that we have the ability to provide the services to our kids, because it's only a matter of time before gasoline buses are probably we're prohibited from buying them. We'll be able to keep them on the road. At this time, legislation is in 2035, all buses that we purchase will have to be electric. But we won't have to take gasoline buses off the road at that time.
Thank you.
Trustees, any other questions?
I
Trustee
do.
Dybert?
Yeah, I have a comment. At the CSBA conference, we attended one of the sessions and I can't remember which one. And they told us that school districts, I think on average, their reserve fund was between 10 and 18%. And they recommended that was a healthy reserve. So I'm a little concerned because I'm looking at 2026, 27 at 6%. I know the minimum is 3%. So, and I know from my personal account, my reserve is, my income, my expenses, and this is what I have. So I'm assuming it's the inflation, it's different things that is causing this. Do you know of any other districts? Is it happening to other school districts as well, that they have to go down? Because the last time I knew, we were at 10%. So now we're 8, so then we're gonna go to 7. So that kind of concerns me a little bit, so. can you
Yes,
expand on
and
that?
the state put a cap. So right now we have a cap of 10%. So we cannot go higher than 10%, but we cannot go lower than 3% either. So to be as fiscal, healthy in the eyes of the state. And so our max is 10%. So even though you saw at 8%, that is assuming, that we are gonna spend all the money that is in our expenditure budget. That is the 503 million. Remember that we have one-time funds in there that they may not get spent, that we're gonna carry over to the next year. So if our expenditures are lower, that means our reserve will be higher and our percentage will be higher too. So this is assuming that we're gonna spend all the money that is in the budget. And so that's one thing. The second thing is because the revenue for the following years is gonna be lower, assuming that it's only gonna be a 1% COLA for 24-25 and maybe 2% COLA, doing the worst scenario in 25-26, that will affect the revenue coming in. So if the revenue is lower and our expenditures doesn't low, it's gonna affect our reserve too.
So Trustee Dybert, it's important to know that a few years ago, and I want to say it was 2021 that they lowered.
When they put the cap?
That put the cap, was it
In
2021?
21, 22.
Yeah, so in that beginning, in the fall of that year, the state required all districts to use a 10% cap. That was the maximum you could put in reserve. So when CSBA was talking about the days of 18%, that's prior to that. And that's, most districts tried to keep a healthier reserve, especially after the Great Recession. When the collapse happened, those districts that had a reserve were able to weather the storm better, at least for 1 year, sometimes 2 years, than those districts that couldn't. And so we were pretty dedicated here to keeping a healthy reserve. We are not able to do that any longer. No district in the state can. We're 10% is the max.
I had a couple of questions on the general fund expenditures on utilities in 9.4. Is the solar anything helping us at all in those utilities?
And the solar, we start last year is when we start completing all that. So
They're not
these
connected yet?
they are, but we have not seen the electricity bills lower yet. So
Yeah, and I want to remind the board on that too. So we've got, gosh, it's about 50% connected now. I think it's a little over 50% are connected. But remember, we do not own those solar arrays. We did not pay anything out of pocket for those. Those were a PPA, a power purchase agreement, where we're locking in, we're buying our power through Forefront Energy, who owns those. And we locked in at like an 11 cents per kilowatt with no escalator. So we're paying that for the next, I can't remember how many, 15 years, I think is what it is. So what we really were doing was safeguarding ourselves against increases that PG&E was we were gonna see. So, yeah, it's not like people that put solar and they buy the solar array on their homes and then they have zero PG&E bill and true ups. That's not what we're gonna have. It's a set rate now.
Okay. And also on the multi-year assumptions, so we're having the 7th period in high school and then middle school. Are we gonna be allowing anything for middle school?
We already have those teachers,
Mhm.
so that been in implementation for the last 2 years, so that will not be impacted.
And then also, we're gonna be doing more curriculum like ethics studies. I think we have a new math we're gonna be training for. Those things, so do we have those funds adjusted in our expenses for the assumptions for multi-years?
If it's textbooks, we have the funds for it. If it's FTEs, we're working on course staffing. If it's any need for new FTE to make sure that we can provide those classes, it will be included in the course staffing when we bring the FTE for approval.
Okay, and then in our expenses also, I think I heard you mention that we have like for the upgrading of Madison for the 7th and 8th. Do we have also for the TK sites that we have to do
Yes.
as well, budgeted for that?
That
And-
is gonna be covered by our building fund, Fund 41. Yes.
And then, I know it's not here as of October 31st, but now like in December and January, we'll have the expense of the winter sessions and all those other.
But
Is
the
that gonna
the
come out
budget is
ELP?
already in it.
Uh-huh.
It's in the materials. Right now, everything is covered through the
So materials
ELP.
and then you're transferred over for the. salaries.
Correct, to salaries,
Like
because
we did for the other
everything,
ones.
all the winter sessions is paid on timesheets. They are not salaries. So as the timesheets comes in, we pay them and then we transfer the funds from the materials to cover those timesheets.
I think that's it. Thank you. Oh, Trustee Seibert has another question.
On your, excuse me, on the average daily attendance. We've always been around 95, 96 now. It's dropped from 96 to 95 to 95. We're at 94 this year. Is it the time of year or what can we do to
Yes,
increase
babies.
that daily attendance?
Well, the average daily attendance is actually kids coming to school. So the more students are absent is the affects our attendance. And the 94 that you see there is because now the state has 3 options for funding ADA. One is the current year, the prior year, or the 3-year average, whichever is higher. So if our current ADA is lower than prior year, then they'll use prior year. But if our average for the last 3 years is higher, then they will use that to fund us. So our actual attendance, if it's lower, it's not gonna be used.
Oh, yeah, but that's gonna, if it's say 94, 93%, it's gonna be averaged out in the next 1 or 2 years. It's
Yes,
gonna drop
and
everything.
since
So-
since the pandemic, we have seen that our students are absent. You know, before, I think parents will send their kids sick to school, like if they had a cold, they have a fever, they will still go to school. And perfect attendance was a big deal for our parents. Now, after the pandemic, it's not anymore. Like you're sick, you're staying home. So we've seen that in our it's affecting our attendance.
There is a massive amount of journalism about this across the country. This is a problem in all 50 states. So everyone has to deal with it. Please don't hear that as an excuse. It's just, it is a post-pandemic reality that is literally written about every week in CSBA. You'll see it called chronic absenteeism. And that is that's probably one of the most important buzz phrases in modern education right now, because it's such a big problem.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe what we're assuming is correct. I don't know, but I think we need to encourage teachers to talk to students and try to get them back in school. Maybe we have a classroom where kids that don't feel well, maybe they go to it during the day, get taken care of, but that's a lot of money.
Well, I think with the programs that we've been implementing at the elementary school with our specials that is one of the reasons that we want to keep students motivated and wanted to come to school to be in those classes. Now with the 7th period at high school, the students are going to have the opportunity to have maybe 2 electives. So they'll have more reasons to come to school or not wanted to miss school.
How long do they have to stay in school during the day to be counted?
At elementary school, 1 minute on the day, they take attendance, you're present. For high school, it's every period.
Every period.
Yes. High school and middle school.
So they
Yeah,
ditch
I
cla-
couldn't remember that.
So they
That's
ditch
right.
classes, then we're losing money when they ditch a class.
We lose revenue.
So in elementary though, it's got to be there for a minute.
As long as the teacher takes attendance in the morning, the student is present all day
Maybe you
in
oughta
the
have a-
eyes of attendance.
Maybe you ought to have a health nurse that the parents can bring the kids into to see, and then they can take them back home after they get attendance.
Okay. I now entertain a motion, a second to approve item 14C1. Please state your name when you make the motion and second the motion. Anybody?
Trustee Dybert, I move to approve the first interim report as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Thank you. It has been moved by trustee Dybert and second by trustee Ahmad to approve item 14C1. Mrs. Martinez, please pull the board.
Trustee Gomez Leon,
Yes.
trustee Taha,
Yes.
trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Seibert,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
president Salazar.
Yes.
President Salazar, I counted 9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent. 2 of the votes were preferential.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Now to item number 15, announcements. Superintendent Lyle.
President Salazar, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, the holiday season's upon us. It's that time of year that our schools put on their concerts. There are several events being held in the next several weeks, so here's a few. Torres High School's Winter Showcase will be held on December 13th. Madera High School's Winter Arts Celebration is scheduled also for December 13th. Madera South High School's Winter Showcase will be held on December 14th. And the Madera Community Band Holiday Concert will be held December 17th at Torres High School. The next DLAC meeting will be held on December 18th at Price's. The meeting will begin at 6 p.m. The PRC will hold a parent project, Loving Solutions parent graduation on December 19th for those that would like to go, from 6 to 7 p.m. and will take place at Washington Elementary. And on the 22nd of December, every kid in Madera will be really, really happy at the end of the day because we start the holiday vacation. So December 22nd is the last day.
Winter break.
That's winter break.
And they return.
They return on January too soon.
24,
But it is January, I have it right here,
the 17th.
17th,
Yeah.
January 17th.
How long does the winter program last, Superintendent Lyle?
How long does a winter program
Yeah,
last?
the winter session.
Winter session is, I believe, I thought it was 1 week. Is that right? It is 1 week.
Yeah.
Monday through Thursday. No, it's after the new year. I believe it's January.
Okay.
We can get information to you in the newsletter on that, if you're interested.
Item number 16A, miscellaneous board member committee information reports. Trustees, this is an opportunity for you to provide the board updates on reports from committee meetings or events you have attended. Trustee, I start with trustee Dybert.
Yes, last Friday I attended the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. CFO Garcia presented the same presentation that we got, so I'm not gonna go over what I learned. I also attend, like almost every trustee attended the CSBA conference. But I'm not prepared because I thought that maybe that will be shared at the next board governance workshop to what we learned, and figure for the sake of time, I wouldn't do that. So I don't have any other reports at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Cortez?
I also attended the California School Boards conference this past, what day was that? I'm forgetting. November 30th. Okay, so I remember it was a Wednesday through a Friday, so or Saturday rather. But something that really interesting that was presented was a topic of our artificial intelligence and how that's a reality that it's happening, and beyond Chat GPT or even Claude, there are a lot of educational specific AI tools, and naturally a lot of people feel nervous about the tool. They're not sure how it's going to work, but just like they were talking about how just like the invention of the telegram came about, and then the invention of the fax machine, and then the internet, and so how people were kind of nervous about that, and obviously with the potential for plagiarism and cheating, and that's not going to go away. And so the way that it was presented is, as a tool, as an option to augment learning, and really help our teachers also become more efficient with their time. It was mentioned that some of these tools are helping teachers save about an average of 5 hours per week in lesson planning. It can also help school sites with their, with some of the reporting, like the SAPs, for example. And so I think it's something that we can leverage, and that would really help benefit our teachers and our students as well. So I think it's something that we really need to take the time to look into, because I think we need to become early adopters of this, because it is coming. It's happening.
Thank you, Trustee Cortez. Trustee Ahmad?
I also attended CSB annual conference on November 30th to December 2nd, and I also attended quite a few different sessions, and it was really good sessions, and I learned a lot on these sessions, and it was very informative, very detailed information. A lot I learned on these sessions, and also on December the 7th, I attended District Safety Committee via Zoom, which we received some updates. Also, one of the updates we received that how we can improve our drop off and pick up our students. And also in that meeting, we also discussed a little bit about gang intervention. And that's all I have. And also, I would like to say happy holiday to all the students and parents and families and every staff member. And I wish everybody a happy holidays and happy New Year.
Thank you, Trustee Fleek.
A lot of this has already been covered, but Associated Student Bodies of the 3 high schools had their day of service. And everywhere I went, they had already cleaned up and left. So I didn't really get to see them until we got back to the high school. A lot of good school site council meetings are going on. I was able to attend Furman, Millview, Howard, and Washington schools. And there was a lot of important information given out. And I'm not really a basketball person, but I did go to Joe Flores Gym to watch Madera High play against Madera South. And I was really impressed because they were so good. It was amazing, the 3-point shots. It was really, and even, the free throws. So I was really impressed. Of course, we had Thanksgiving break, and then the trustees went off to the CSBA conference in San Francisco. The Madera High Choir, under the direction of Mr. Anderson, welcomed visitors to the holiday open house at the Madera County Historical Society Museum. And you couldn't help but sing along with them because just about everyone knows Christmas songs, but it was really exciting. The safety committee meeting also had positive updates on what's being done to keep our students safe. The Arts Council had an art exhibit of many of our Madera Unified School District students' work, and Sherman Thomas was also there, and so was ETAA. There was a cute and interesting display of sock monkeys at the art gallery. Last Friday was very busy for Mules Athletics, cross country. A team was at Town and Country Park, and they had volleyball outdoors at Madera South in the softball fields. Last night at Fort Washington Country Club, awards were given out to the top middle school educators of the year. And people were very appreciative of middle school teachers because they said, you know, you have to be a special kind of teacher to teach middle school. And I agree with that. And two of our own were honored at, and one was from MLK and the other MadTech. And happy holidays to everyone. Stay safe. And students, turn off those cell phones and read as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Fleet. Trustee Seibert?
Looking at that art council display for our students, and there are some students that are doing really, really good work. I mean, they're going to be professionals. Some of them are just, just beginners and kids are learning, but there are some promising kids in our district. Went to Howard School site. They're really happy with the growth that they're having. You can tell they're really working hard and focused. When I was there, I noticed some of the portable classrooms had dirt up against the bottom of them with the wood. And I think I've mentioned that we're taking care of that, but that's going to rot everything out.
Some of the wood was
Yeah, wood paint and stuff. And I was thinking instead of painting that wood again, maybe you ought to put plaster, not plaster, but not a wood siding, but go to stucco. Put stucco next time we go over it instead of painting them. Might be last a lot longer. Budget finance, you guys have heard that. We got going there. Yeah, I stopped by the cross country at the park. I had a laugh. And these kids take off running. It's like a herd, man. There's all kinds of kids just come flying and, a big old group. It's really funny. I'd have a funny story on that. It happened to me one time, but I'll spare you. Not to give you that one. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Seibert. Clerk Mendoza?
Thank you. I too attended the CSBA conference. It was a pretty good conference. It was a lot of information, very interesting information. It was pretty crowded. Some of the classrooms that we went to were very large, plenty of seating, but for some reason it was so packed that there was people standing and sitting all over the floors, trying to catch that particular topic of several of the topics that were going on. I have my notes on my phone and I can't grab them, but in any case, it was a very interesting conference, and also I really enjoyed the general sessions because they had some really interesting topics on there. So quite a few things picked up that we could put into practice, but I'll leave that for another day. Thank you.
Thank you, Clerk Mendoza. As for myself, I also attended the CSBA conference, and I'll do my notes when we have gathering again. And as far as the arts gallery, I attended that, and yes, the students showed their talent, and I'm happy for them, and met some of the parents. Anyway, moving on. Item number 17A, advanced planning. The next regular board meeting is scheduled for January the 23rd, 2024. Suggested future agenda items. Trustees, do you have any items you would like staff to present at a future board meeting? Trustee Seibert?
Yes, President Salazar, this year when I came on board, we held our board governance workshop, I believe was in March. I would like to have the board governance workshop done in January, like we did in the past, maybe before we start our regular board meeting on the 23rd. And I would like to engage the district to engage with services with CSBA governance department. We attend their conferences. They train us for new trustees. They give us training on masters in governance. So they're pretty much up to date on whatever is the latest. So that will be something that maybe we should consider. They're the advisors. They're the ones who we go to for our board policies. So I think for me, it makes sense to engage their services for that. So that's all for me.
Thank you. Trustee Cortez.
Yes, I would actually also like to request that we engage CSBA to help us as far as consultation regarding our board governance handbook, our calendar. I don't believe we ever finished our calendar, so I think I'd like to engage them in that. Since they are the specialists in that area, I'd like to employ their services if possible. And also, I would also like to maybe have staff look into this AI topic that I talked about a little while ago. So I think we need to get some more information on that and see how that can benefit our district, our staff, and our children.
Okay, Trustee Ahmad.
Nothing else this time.
Thank you. Trustee Fleek.
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Seibert.
Nothing at this time. I just question, on this board calendar now that we just adopted. Are they gonna send that to our cell phone, put it on our calendars?
The invites, yes.
Do we have to
Answer
click on
yes.
it, or they just add it, and they just add it to our?
No, you have to click on it so you can add it
Click
to
on
your
every
phone.
date?
We're not at the AI yet to think.
Okay, all right.
Clerk Mendoza. You caught him off guard.
Nothing,
Sorry.
no, thank you.
Okay, as for myself, I was already talking about, I don't know, about CSBA and the governance. Yes, we did finish our calendar last year. We do need to have, we talked about posting it here, but we'll discuss that further. And, but yes, I've been thinking about a different consultant to come in for our governance classes that we would have. So we've been thinking of, I already have been thinking about that. And I already had mentioned it to superintendent. So those things are thought about, but I will let you know right now. I am going on vacation. I'm leaving the 28th and I don't come back to the 15th. I'll be out of the country. I will take my laptop. I will send some notes, but if I send you stuff to work on, I would appreciate we work on it. So when we gather up, we're prepared. Because if I'm taking the time to set this up, then I would appreciate that we rebuttal and try to work on our homework as a board so we could be prepared in these classes. Other than that, thank you. Yep, I have a new grandbaby. It is 10:11 p.m. And I adjourn this meeting. Thank you. You guys have a nice holiday. Be safe. Enjoy your families. Thank you.